We on the hills, man. It's dose. It's dose. Hey, let's get it. I got that pride in me. I got that dog in me. I got my dogs with me. You know where you can find me. I got that pride in me. I got that dog in me. I got my dogs with me. You know where you can find me. Hillside. 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 Check me out. Let's go. Look, leaving no doubt, going all in. Business and ladies keep calling. Look at my schedule, it's filled in. For the right price, we can make sense. Never been a fan of the hate. Protect myself thanks to the maker. On the grind, call it running routes. Moving real smooth while we counting paper.
Hillside, 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 hillside. Hillside, 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 hillside. What you know about them bears? All the ops we running through. Silver Hills, what it do? Winning, what we gonna do? I'm a ball hog, got swift attack. I've been a winner, I stick to that. Team player, been a Mac, recognize pass, then get the sack. Bears grinding at the line of scrimmage. Do our thing, see the end zone. Fourth quarter, it's time to finish. We coming hard, bring the win home. Big hit energy, chewing up all the ops like raw bait. All for one, we fight together. Let's win conference, get all state. Game day and I feel fine. To the fight, we will ride. Silver Hills, Bill Black will feel better. Know the deal on that hillside, man. Hillside, 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 hillside. Hillside, 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 hillside. What you know about them bears? All the ops we running through. Silver Hills, what it do? Winning, what we gonna do? Handle business Friday night, that's what it's time to do. Until we gone, we gon' represent that white and blue. Handle business Friday night, that's what it's time to do. Till we gone, we gon' represent that white and blue.
Check, check, check. Oh, okay. Now we're cooking with grease. All right, we rolling. We are rolling. The other one? No, that's for y'all.
You want to check it?
Yeah, give me a check out of there.
Say something to it.
Yerk.
One more time.
What's up?
Yeah. We good on that. We good on that. Cool. All right, let me make sure I got all stuff over here. All right. All right, fellas, so what I'll do here is I'll just count us in a little 3, 2, 1, give a quick little intro, and then we're going to jump into it.
Sounds good.
All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the 2024 high school football season. Sylvan Hills Sports Network. Jay, we're coming to you here. We've got the big dogs here. We've got Coach Will. We've got Tyler Hampton, the big-time QB. We've got Josiah Rainey. He real fast. That's really all we got to say about that. Let's kind of get into things here real quick because, fellas, last season was, last season. Coach Will, for you especially, it had to be tough. Obviously, first year kind of running the show. Kind of went the way it did. It is what it is. But what do you actually take away from a season like that, even as tough as it might be?
Well, the thing you take away from it is, our guys throughout the season, they didn't quit, and that shows you what type of young guys you have. We had so many young guys. I mean,
yeah.
Tyler over there starting at quarterback as a sophomore.
Yeah.
They could have checked it in at any moment. Coaches could have checked it in, and we didn't. We kept working. We kept fighting. So we knew the next season was coming around. There's always a next season. So our guys, I learned a little bit of resiliency about them, that they're going to stay in the fight. Learned a lot about myself. At the end of the day, it's hard to go through that. And,
yeah.
But man, I had these guys, and I was here for them. They were here for me, and that's how you got to be. And I think it's going to pay off this year.
Now for you especially too, going from assistant coach to the head coach, what was like some of the biggest differences? I mean, because now you're overseeing the whole smash. You kind of got your hands in everything, except a little different from being a coordinator. Like, I only got to worry about the offense. I only got to worry about the defense. I'll worry about my position guys. I mean, you got the whole thing going on. So, from a head coaching standpoint, what did you really learn the most about just pure logistics of running the squad?
Yeah, you learn that there's a whole lot more than just coaching football. And you kind of feel like I told my wife when I first got the job, and a couple weeks in, I was like, I don't feel like I've coached football one day, because there's so many things you got to do, from ordering things, from setting things up, meals, buses, things like that. Of course, we have other coaches to help with those things,
sure,
but
yeah.
The logistics of everything, and dealing with the parents, the players, the physicals, the dragonflies, the benefit games, the uniforms, this, that. It's just, when you're an assistant coach, you get to focus on your guys.
Yeah.
I used to always, when I coached O-line here, I always had the O-line over to my house. Mm-hmm. Every year we'd come over, I'd feed them guys pizza, and it was a lot of pizza for them guys. But we had a good time, and, as a head coach, it turned into where I invite seniors over to my house. Oh. And the seniors come over and things like that. And this year we only got 13 seniors.
Yeah.
If our guys stay in like I need them to, these young guys, I'll have a bunch in my house the next couple of years. So, but just the logistics of, outside of football. When I was a coordinator, defense coordinator back in the day, it just all my focus was on defense.
Yeah.
And now my focus is on everything. I got to try to be everywhere at all times and things like that. And but the good thing is I have a good staff, and I trust those guys to do their job. So that helps. That helps take some pressure off. But just logistics outside of here, the fundraising, those things, it's a lot. But that's the role you take, and you got to embrace it and do your best.
Now you're a younger guy, also, in kind of being sort of the head guy. I mean, what's it like having guys who've been around the block, maybe? Because you've got some experience on there. You got some younger coaches on this team as well. I mean, is there kind of a different dynamic with that, or is it just head coach, assistant coach? We just understand how that works, and how much of is there any mentoring or kind of game planning specifically? It's like, all right, I'm working with the O-line guys today. Oh, I'm working with the running backs another day, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, when you have guys on staff, you do have some young guys that you as a coach, I think this will be my 17th year.
Yeah.
So, there's some of them young guys that I try to mentor to being an older coach, and then there's guys that even have double the years I've had in on staff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to lean on those guys a little bit. They've been through some different experiences. Times were different 20, 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. Times were different when I started. And so, there's experiences we all have that we can lean on each other about and knock ideas off of each other. And that's the good thing about the office there is we have those different relationships. We can do that. But as far as, focusing on one position, things like that, I try to bounce around as much as I can.
Sure.
I kind of take special teams under my wing because to me they're special for a reason, and you got to be really good. You can change the momentum of game in special teams. So I try to focus on that a lot as a head coach. I take that off the plate of my coordinators. They don't have to worry about it. I get everything drawn up for special teams. So, but I try to be around and see what's going on and know what's going on at all times and just coach football. That's what that's one thing I do like about it. When I'm on the defense, when I swip over the defensive side, when it's team D or something, I'm just coaching football. I'm coaching those guys on their techniques, things like this. Them other coaches have coached them on all the schemes and those. I'm coaching them on technique, and those are the things that make us really good. So I enjoy doing that.
Is that kind of one of the perks of the gig, being a head guy? You can just bop around. I don't have to focus on one thing. Oh, I see the running backs doing something. I'm going to get up in them. Oh, cornerbacks. Let me holler at you for a minute. I mean, you kind of get to just mosey about.
Yeah, some guys do. There's some head coaches still coach position.
Yeah.
I coach our H-backs when we have them. But they split a lot of time with our line and with our running backs. So sometimes they get through with the line so I can go check on somebody else.
Right.
But some head coaches don't. They do bop around to different spots and see what's going on, and some have a position that I coach. I like to coach position. I like to have a group of guys that, that I can focus on. So there's a little sense of pride when you have that.
I got you.
So I do enjoy that part of it. So, but like I said, it's but the freedom to be able to go around, the freedom to be able to help out my coaches. When I have a coach who's maybe in a conference when practice started, they couldn't be here, I'll go take over that group and I'll coach them up. I'll coach receivers over there. I'll go with Tyler. I'll get him warmed up. I'll help out till that coach is whatever he's doing at that time. So I do have the freedom to help out my staff and do things like that.
Now, I think one of the big things that's forgotten about with high school coaches is you guys are teachers, by and large, a lot of times too. Some loads are heavier than others. Some subject matters are heavier than others. But, how do you guys try to balance those kind of things out?
Yeah, you're a teacher to coach, and at the end of the day, without the teaching position, the coaching position probably wouldn't exist. So
right.
Now I know there's some places people come, they show up to coach, and some states they don't even work at the school, they just coach.
Yeah,
that's not how it is around here. We teach, we coach, and I got some guys and staff that teach science, teach history, teach math.
Yeah,
and they do a great job, and their workload is they're expected to do everything everybody else is expected to do, but. That's the role we have, and I think our guys can handle that and handle it well. So as far as being in the classroom for me, I enjoy being around other kids. It helps me get to know the kids in the school, build relationships with those kids, not just my football players. And so it's a dynamic, but you got to be able to juggle all of it, for sure.
You ain't got either one of these two in the class, do you?
No, not this year. I usually got younger ones in my class.
They lucked out. Well, let's hear from the boys over there. Fellas, like I said, last year it was what it was. Give me a player perspective on that. What's it like going through those tough times? We even mentioned on the broadcast during the benefit game. It just seemed to be like the second half. Anything that could happen did happen. Is that kind of what it felt like out there? I mean, what was the vibe out there when just things just didn't seem to kind of work out? A couple games where you had it there in the end and just kind of let them go.
I think we was very young. I think we got like a lot of people returning. Just made everybody hungry. We know like the little thing, like it'd be one little thing that just bust everything. Like coach always tell us like if 10 people doing the right thing and one person do the wrong thing, it could bust up the whole place. So everybody just know do your job and we gonna be all right.
I got you. So it's a matter of like I know coaches always tend to pay attention to details. Does that kind of after an 0-10 season does that really ring a lot better for y'all?
Yes, sir. I feel like after last season, it showed how much preparation is really key to paying attention to the little details. Because if you fix those things out, mind those things, don't matter if you're tired or not, your body will be able to just react to it and know what to do without having to think too much.
I got you. All right, forget about last season now. We'll just put that out here. Ain't nobody trying to talk about that no more. Talk to me about this season. What's it like going into this season? What's the optimism? Are you guys feeling confident? I mean, like I said, from the benefit game, we could all tell up there in the press box, whoa, this team looked different. We got here sticking. The offense looks crisp. Hold on now. I'm not trying to say state champions or anything yet, but how about that? What's it like going into the season?
Yeah, so we're feeling very confident. I feel like we've had a great summer this year, especially all the 7-on-7s. I feel like we all feel like, well, when we doing our best, we compete with the best in the state. We compete with anybody as long as we click and doing what we need to do.
Now, what did you do over the summer? Because, man, that arm came out of nowhere. Where'd that arm been?
I just been working out with my guys. Been working with my receivers. I got quarterback training on the side. Been working with him a lot. And I just been trying to get better every day.
Now, from a QB standpoint, they always talk about the more firefights you've been in, the more game action you've seen, the game tends to slow down. I mean, guys are bigger, guys are faster nowadays.
Right.
But do you kind of see what they're saying now? Is it slowing down for you?
Yes, sir. This is slowing down a lot. I'm way better. It's slowed down a lot. I'm better at reading defenses, knowing what I'm looking at, knowing what I'm looking for. I'm better at picking up on blitzes and things like that. I'm kind of able to help other guys out, like, hey, I need you here, I need you there, this time, that time, because I have an idea of what I want to do, pre-play and post-snap. I know what to do.
Now, a guy who ain't slowing down, Josiah Rainey here. Hold on, dog. Like, man, what's your 100 now? What did I see?
10-3.
10-3? Where's the 9 at? It was 9. We can get the 9-9 or something.
It's gonna come son.
All right. Now we noticed you big time stand out on the defensive side. From a defensive standpoint, what's different going in this year? Because it seemed like I said last year, and again I hate to bring up last year, but it just seemed like the consistency wasn't there. Is that kind of what you noticed from last year? And what are you guys doing to kind of bring that consistency this season?
Everybody just doing their job. We locked in, playing more hungry. Everybody we can't slow down after one series. We ready to go. Like we gotta go get another stop. I go get another stop and another stop after that.
That was something we noticed from last year going to the benefit game. Always seemed to be one of those situations. Offense came out, boom, hit him right in the mouth. It never seemed to fail. Like the opposing team always seems to answer. That benefit game, hold on. Defense kind of clamped up a little bit. Is it just a mentality thing, or is it more of those attention to details that you guys are kind of noticing now?
It's a little bit of both,
I got you.
Mentality. Everybody feel like we got something to prove, and then we see offense doing their thing. We're like, we gotta go do our thing too. So everybody just coming together with everything.
Okay, there's a difference here between track speed and football speed. How do you kind of blend those two together? Because, I mean, like I said, 10-3, that's something to scoff at.
Yeah.
All right? But when you put pads on, it's always a little bit different. But how do you kind of use your speed to your advantage?
Exploding, see the play, explode out, getting off the ball, explode out, everything more explosive. So you got to be, it's like football more of a now type thing.
I got you. Now, we noticed, too, in the benefit game that, you were in that backfield quite a bit. Kind of almost a linebacker mentality, but out there on the edge. Yeah. Is that kind of what you're trying to bring?
It was a couple times last year I made a tackle. Like, if I come up a little bit earlier with a little bit more force, maybe I could, bring the wood more. So I was like, I'm going to put on some more weight. That way I can learn how to tackle better, be more physical. I think everybody on defense trying to be way more physical this year. Coaches did a lot of stuff trying to get us get bigger this year, so I think everybody going to play bigger too.
I'm not going to front. We noticed it. We noticed the tackling looked a lot different than what it has in years past. Has that been something that's really been a focus for you guys?
Yeah, being physical. Coach Hood tell us every day, go out here and be physical. If you're not physical, I don't care what you do, you're not getting on the field.
Hey, Coach, jump in there on that. I mean, what was the defensive mentality? Because it seems like for a long time, tackling at Sylvan Hills it was inconsistent. But that BB game, we saw some licks, we saw some technique, we saw gang tackling. Is that kind of what we're looking at going into the season?
Yeah, like Josiah said, we've had a big focus on being physical and flying to the football. All 11 guys flying to football. Made an emphasis in practice. We've stayed on our guys about doing those things. We've talked about being physical in practice. We're going to play to the whistle, do those things. Just trying to fly around to the ball as much as we can to all 11 guys. That's been a big focus for us, talking to these guys in the offseason. You're right. Tackling has seemed to have been a thing that, we'd have somebody and just melt off, miss a tackle, things like that.
Yeah.
So it's been a big focus of ours to, we go out every day doing our pre-practice. We do some of our kicking stuff and things like that. Guys that aren't involved in that, they're doing a tackling circuit every day on the dummies. They're learning the tackle, their turnover circuit. The fundamentals we talked about, trying to get better at tackling. And I feel like it's paying off, and we'll see Friday night how well it pays off.
And I was going to ask you that. Having gone through it a year, and it takes a minute to kind of install culture and things like that. But is that kind of what part of the culture that you really want to install is we're going to bring the wood?
No doubt. We want to be known as a hard-nosed team. I told our guys last year, and, not take anything away from anybody or anything like that, but people weren't afraid of us last year. They weren't.
Be honest here.
We got to get to a point to where they see us on the schedule and there's a little bit of fear in their mind. And that's kind of where we're trying to get to.
I got you.
And I think we're getting in that direction. I think, like Tyler said, in the summer, we did some things this summer that turned some heads, some people noticed. And now it's time to go do it on the field. So I hope our guys step up to the challenge. I think they will, and we can get to that mentality.
What kind of progress have you seen from the end of last season into going into week 0 this year?
The progress has been a lot better. Like I said, last year we were coming in off the flex bone. It was our first year.
Yeah.
First year, anybody taking snaps in the shotgun, anybody line up a receiver, learning how to do this, run that, what this means. They didn't know.
Yeah.
So, the progress from last year to this year has just been totally different. And I think last year in the summertime we competed at team camps and 7-on-7s, and I don't know if we won many games in it. This year, 7-on-7s and team camps, we've been dominated at times in team camp, dominating some people, and we've been really good in our 7-on-7 stuff. So we're competing. That's the thing, is we want to compete, and we've competed in everything we've done this year.
So I guess going into the season, even coming off a season that you had last year, it's got to kind of reignite everything. You got to see some optimism. You got to have some excitement, not only for yourself, but for the fellas here as well.
No doubt. I mean, it's the new season starting. Go out there and get some wins and make the playoffs this year will be big for these guys, for their confidence, for the program. And I really think it's going to happen. We're going to come out. We're going to play good, and just to see the excitement on these guys' faces when things do come together, and things we've been telling them, and it finally comes together. It's going to. Hopefully, it comes together Friday night, and that's the night that kind of spurs the run we're going to make.
Absolutely. So we're hoping for a lot more W's on the year, because there's nowhere to go but up when it comes to that. So, again, follow along with us. Make sure you subscribe to the Sylvan Hills Sports Network, like the channel, share the word, get everybody involved with it here. Coach Hull, Josiah Rainey, Ty Hampton. Fellas, we certainly do appreciate the time. Best of luck this year, and let's shock the world. How about that?
So, go Bears.
And we'll just cut it right there.
We on the hills, man. It's dose. Hey, let's go. I got that pride in me. I got that dog in me. I got my dogs with me. You know where you can find me. I got that pride in me. I got that dog in me. I got my dogs with me. You know where you can find me. Hillside. 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 Check me out. Let's go. Look, leaving no doubt, going all in. Business and ladies keep calling. Look at my schedule, it's filled in. For the right price, we can make sense. Never been a fan of the hate. Protect myself thanks to the maker. On the grind, call it running routes. Moving real smooth while we counting paper.
Hillside, 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 hillside. Hillside, 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 hillside. What you know about them bears, all the ops we running through. Silver Hills, what it do, winning, what we gonna do. I'm a ball hog, got swift attack. I've been a winner, I stick to that. Team player, been a Mac, recognize past, then get the sack. Bears grinding at the line of scrimmage, do our thing, see the end zone. Fourth quarter, it's time to finish. We coming hard, bring the win home. Big hit energy, chewing up all the ops like raw bait. All for one, we fight together, let's win conference, get all state. Game day and I feel fine. To the fight, we will ride. Silver Hills, Bill Black will feel better, know the deal on that hillside, man. Hillside, 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 hillside. Hillside, 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 hillside.
Oh, here we go. We are back. We are better than ever. Jay Burr, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network for the 2024 season, as the Sylvan Hills Bears set to take on the Maumelle Hornets here at Maumelle. Oh, man, it's in the air. We've been watching the rain kind of move away from us over here, Chris. We're seeing guys tailgate here off to our right side. Man, football's back. I'm excited. I mean, come on, I know you're excited for this.
Yeah, I'm very excited. It's always a good time. You don't want to start your season on the road, but when it's a 20-minute drive down the road over to Maumelle, it makes it a lot better. Both sides of the stands are packed pretty good. Like you said, tailgating out here. The rain hopefully is holding off for now, and it's going to be a great night for football. I'm always here for it. The lights are on, and that's when it kind of means business now. As we're kind of seeing, as Chris, you mentioned, folks are starting to file in. Both sides of the stands are starting to fill up. Oh man, you can start to feel it. I know. I'm never really much of a preseason guy. I'll just be honest. Like preseason, it's fine, but I don't get gassed up necessarily for preseason. But when it matters, when it starts to go in the W and the L column, that's when I start to get there. Yeah, and tonight is a big task playing Maumelle. They've got a lot of size over there. They've got a lot of good coaches. Coach Mop, I like him a whole lot. He's got Maumelle heading in a good direction, but Coach JJ has Sylvan Hills headed in a really good direction. So tonight is a wonderful night to set the standard for your season. And that could look a lot of different ways. You can lose tonight, but if you lose in a fashion where you looked good, the other team just made plays, that can set your season up really well. Obviously, a win will set you up really well. So I'm anxious to see what the Bears can do tonight.
would be a bit of an upset if they did pull off the W tonight. And frankly, it can only go up from here. I know we talked about a lot during the benefit game against BB, the 0-10 season. You heard there a little bit in the pregame that Coach Houle, I think he kind of understood what happened last year. I mean, obviously he was growing into the role as head coach, had a young team, and even some of the seniors that did play last year, that was some of their first action that they've seen. So it will be interesting to see. Again, younger team this year, loaded with juniors. A lot of sophomores are going to start playing, and even some of the seniors maybe haven't seen a whole lot of time in this one. Do want to kind of just quickly run through some of the offense, just from what we saw in one game. Now, granted, it's the benefit game. They're going to be a little more vanilla with the offense, but I did talk to Coach Houle earlier in the week. Basically, they want to run a lot of gun, a little bit of offset there. They want to really practice physicality, and I think we did see a lot more of that, especially compared to what we saw last year.
Yeah, and it starts up front with the O-line. I know Coach Sally, he played at UCA, UAM, a little bit in the pros. He was a great offensive lineman, still is, and he's a great offensive line coach. He's got those guys heading in the right direction. And then the quarterback, Hampton, looked really, really good last week. Oh. If he can continue looking good and get better, I think, that's where it all starts, is right there with the quarterback. And so if he can play like he did last week or even better, Sylvan Hills is going to look good.
I think, like you said, it does start with the front five at the very least. I know this team, they're going to spread you out a little bit, but they really spread you out in order to set up the run. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a page from Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel. Maybe not quite the same thing, but a lot of eye candy, a lot of moving around, but then the plays are fairly basic. Some trapping, simple counters, things of that nature. And all the other motion and moving around, just trying to throw the defense off, get them looking around, get them thinking a little bit.
Yeah, and sometimes that's all you got to do. If you make that linebacker have to make a decision between, the running back getting it or the quarterback keeping it, or make that DN have to read that, seconds and inches matter in football. And if you can get an extra inch or you can save yourself another second by, making the defender think, you can go a long way.
On the defensive side, they're going to run a 3-4 front. They like to run the slants, and that defense is really based on that front seven. And really what it is the defensive line there to just take up space, let the linebackers make plays.
Yeah, and they look a lot better on the defensive side too. They got a lot of physicality. Obviously, Josiah Rainey's probably the superstar, if you had to say it, on the defense. But then you got some other guys like Malachi Summons, a couple of the linebackers that are really, really good. And, tonight they're going to face an offense that's pretty good. They're going to face an offense with some size. They got a couple of guys on the O-line over there at Maumelle that are, 6'6", 6'5", 6'3", big 300-pound guys. But, coming in undermatched and smaller, that can almost, it can be good sometimes. If you're a little quicker, get around the guy, you just got to want it tonight, and you got to want to play physical.
Got through the coin toss there. Maumelle winning the toss. They defer to the second half. Sylvan Hills will receive the ball. I did talk to Coach Houle. He said that was kind of what he wanted to do. He wanted to set the tone on the offensive side. Obviously, they're looking to improve on that, especially from last year. Last year, just tough scene. In fact, I've got the numbers here. In fact, total net yards last year, 133. 4 turnovers to go with that. Usually when you see those kind of numbers, you're not going to win a lot of games. You might luck into 1 out of 10, but by and large, you're not winning with those numbers. And I think he hopes to set the tone a little better coming out the gate tonight.
Yeah, and last week in the benefit game, now we were playing BB, so, it's yet to be determined how good BB is, but I thought the offense looked pretty good. They executed rather well. I know we had a couple of turnovers, or one for sure, but you cut those down, receivers catch the ball, offensive line makes some blocks. It comes down to the small things. I always preach the small things. You take care of the small things, you take care of the game. You take care of the game, you win.
And taking care of the small things over on the defensive side, we didn't quite finish our thoughts there, but they do really they're going to run a lot of man. They're going to run a lot of cover twos, make that front seven, make some plays, and then out there on the edges, guys are just going to have to basically just man up.
Yeah, if your DBs can guard the receivers and take time away from the quarterback and add time on the O-line to have to block. Doesn't matter how big you are. You can't block a guy for, 5-6 seconds. So, coverage sacks, if we can get a lot of those or force a lot of throwaways, get some interceptions, deflect the balls, we'll be good because I know Maumelle can throw pretty good.
They do need to put some pressure on, and that will be the name of the game there, just making their quarterback speed up his thought process. And a lot of times, and you know this all too well, when that guy speeds up his thought process, chances are a mistake is bound to happen.
Yeah, especially in high school. These guys are high schoolers. You get into college, everybody's a college athlete. Everybody was the best at their high school. And down here in the high school ranks, some of these guys, may not have the talent to go to the next level. If you can force them to have to think more or play more, you can take advantage of that.
Absolutely. As we get set for kickoff here, it's going to be going left to right for Maumelle. Sylvan Hills will be going right to left on your screen. And we are getting set here. Believe that is number 83, Michael McCain, for the Hornets, getting set for the kick. Back deep for the Bears. A little crunched up on the numbers there, but it does appear to be 1-0, and we are off. Short kick for the Hornets. Ball is recovered by the Bears. They will set up shop at, I believe, about their own 28-yard line. So here we go. First play of the season for the offense for the Bears. First and 10 at the 29-yard line, and we'll see how things look here early on. Again, Bears really do want to try to make a statement. In fact, last year, Bears actually very good in the first quarter, in the first half of things, as the team does go full spread, empty set, 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Hampton drops back to pass under a little duress. He gets away from pressure. He's got a little bit of room to run. Oh, taken down. That is number 6, B.J. Beats, as he beats his man to the quarterback. So not quite the tone you want to get set.
No, and Hampton had a little time to scramble there. It was just a really good shoelace tackle by Beats there over on that right side, or left side for the defense.
Is that something you tend to notice with quarterbacks, that sometimes they're a little hesitant to take off?
Yeah, if it's a quarterback that doesn't run a lot, he may be a little hesitant too, but Hampton has the wheels to run for sure. Probably didn't want to there.
Handoff this time. That was number 20, Jeremiah Carey. Not much of a carry there for the Bears.
No, and that D-line, they got some size on the D-line, and they really forced a stalemate with the O-line, and anytime you do that, that's a win for the D-line. You're not getting any push. You're not going anywhere. It's hard to run the football.
They're in the bus right now for the Bears. 20 yards to be exact. Offset shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left, 1 out there on the right. Man goes out in motion. Quick throw out there. That's Malachi Sherwin, and nothing doing as Maumelle swarms, pun fully intended there, for the tackle. Gain of about 1 yard on that one, and a quick 3 and out for the Bears. -9 net yards. So not quite the tone to set, as I've said, after that first down, but also, too, maybe some first game jitters, things of that nature.
Yeah, and it just came down to the small things. The run play, the O-line didn't really get the push they needed to. And then on that swing pass there, Terry Ransom from Maumelle just beat the receiver and made a great play, made the tackle.
Bears set to punt for the first time tonight. And a high punt, not a lot of distance on it, but it does get the friendly bounce. And it looks like it will settle in about the 47-yard line for the Hornets, where they will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, that punt there, the punter pregame was kicking them pretty good. I think the high snap there, he may have gotten a little nervous and tried to rush kick it. We did get a friendly bounce, so that's good. Puts Maumelle on their own side of the field, but get a little bit cleaner snap on the punt, and that guy can rock it.
Like you said, it did look like he rushed it a little bit, but it is what it is now. 1st and 10, Maumelle, as they take over at the 47-yard line. Handoff up the middle, swallowed up, though. And that is the big fella, number 24 for the Bears. That's Malachi Summons coming from that rover position. Looks to be a slight loss on the play, 1 yard loss. And again, as we said pregame, those linebackers are going to be the ones that have to make those plays.
Yeah, it was a very good play there. Scraped down the line, made the tackle.
Shotgun, QB keeps. He's looking to go deep. He's got a man. Oh, and he falls down, and that. Oh! Oh! Derek Palmer with the buttery palms right there. I think he was maybe too wide open as Josiah Rainey actually slipped. It looks like they may have gotten their feet tangled on that play. Drops the for sure score. Oh! If you're a Bear fan, you got to love that.
Yeah, I'm going to equate that to it being the first game, first pass maybe thrown to him in a game. And, you know, he just his eyes got real big and got too excited.
Not going to get many breaks like that, but the Bears will definitely take it. 3rd and long now for the Hornets. And the pass in and out of the hands of number 8, Braylon Crosby. So Sylvan Hills defense does their job, holds Maumelle to a 3-and-out of their own.
Yeah, it's very good to force a 3-and-out. Maumelle likes to throw the ball. They've got a pretty decent quarterback in offense, so forcing a 3-and-out, especially on their side of the field, so you may get some good field position with a punt here. Take advantage of it.
Yeah, we'll see what the Maumelle punt looks like. I believe that's number 17, Josiah Warrior Benson back there. A little hard to see their numbers with the black. Almost got to the ball. I think he did get a piece of that. I believe that's Riley Jablinowski busting through. And it appears to be a net punt of about 6-7 yards. So huge special teams there. One thing that Coach Houle did emphasize, as we talked with him earlier this week, he did take on the special teams coordinator role this year. And it paid dividends early on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if we did get a piece of it, great. If not, we did force a terrible punt there of 6 yards. So now we take, just like I was saying, we take over with great field position, 4 yards away from the 50. See what Hampton can do.
And ball's on the turf, and it looks like Maumelle has got the ball back. So not the way you want to respond after a 3-and-out. A good special teams play. Looked like there was maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there with Malachi Sherwin and Tyler Hampton. I got it, you take it, sort of thing on the read there. And not the way Sylvan Hills wants to go about it. Again, 4 turnovers in this game last year led to their demise, setting up Maumelle with some pretty decent field position as number 2, Andrew Bjork. And his Maumelle Hornets going empty backfield set up on the Sylvan Hills side of the field. And it looks like he will run this one, and he finds a seam. He's getting chased down. We do have a flag on the play. It does look like that one could be coming back. As preliminary indications are, it is a hold, but we will wait for the official call.
Yeah, I think we are going to get a holding call there. Sylvan Hills did a good job of getting out there, just – let me say his name was Bjork with the speed. Looks really good.
I do know that is one thing that this defense does want to do. They want to try to stretch the runners, doing a little more north and south instead of east and west. We saw that there, but the one thing they have to do is they do have to fill those cutback lanes when it does come to that, because Maumelle, they do have some speed, they do have some skill. Give them a cutback lane or just a shimmer of a hole, they're going to take advantage. We saw it right there. Fortunately for the Bears, a holding call.
Yeah, and that can happen on some of those outside run plays. You do get holding out of the offensive line. Sylvan Hills catching some breaks here. We just got to take advantage of it.
Backs it up to the Maumelle side of the field. Bjork with the pump fake, and he's got a man wide open. That's Jackson Hampton. No drops this time. As he fights his way down the field. That was Braylon McPhee on the tackle from the free safety position. Huge gain for the Hornets, looking like they're marking it at the 15-yard line of Sylvan Hills. So about a 40-yard gain on that pass. And Maumelle mixing in a little tempo here. But they're getting the call from the sideline. And I think that's something you'll see both of these teams maybe hit you with a little tempo, but then slow it down to see what your defense is doing.
Yeah, speed you up, slow you down, keep you on your toes. Got to make that
missed
tackle
there by the Bears. And Jacob Henry walks it in for the touchdown.
Got to make the tackle.
That is one thing we did comment on in the BB game. That is one thing that Coach Uhl mentioned there in the pregame was tackling. It is something that has plagued the Bears throughout the years. And it reared its head there as the missed tackle. It would have been a loss or at the very best a no gain for Maumelle. But one broken tackle leads to the score. The extra point is blocked and had a chance there for the return, but nothing doing there. And with that, Maumelle takes the early lead, 6-0.
Yeah, it's big there to get that extra point blocked, save a point. You never know. Never know when that point could come back to hurt you. So, saving that there, almost got a decent return out of it. We just gotta play cleaner on offense and take advantage of the breaks when we get them.
Yeah, Maumelle handing out breaks left and right. The big dropped pass, holding call there on the long run, but the deep passes are plaguing this Bears defense. Bears susceptible to the big play last year. Early on so far, they've given up their fair share of opportunities at least. Now, Maumelle not taking full advantage of the opportunities, but they have been there. Deep kick for Maumelle. A little confusion on who was taking it. Decent return. Looks to be spotted at the 31-yard line for the Bears, where they will take over for their third drive of the game.
It was E.J. Duckery there on the return. I think he got the return last time, or at least fell on it.
Yeah, that didn't look like that was necessarily the game plan there, as Joseph Thompson did look a little upset at what he had.
Yeah, and sometimes, on special teams, if you can kick it right there in the middle of between the guys who return it in that first row, you get a lot of confusion sometimes.
A little confusion there for the Bears. Maybe just good defense there by the Hornets, as I believe that is number 21, Malachi Sherwin there on the toss sweep. Going backwards, though, so Bears having some trouble at the point of attack so far early on in this one, as I don't believe they have any positive yards. In fact, they have quite a few negative ones.
Yeah, right now Maumelle's just playing really fast and really physical.
Tyler Hampton scrambling out of the pocket, finds a man, cutting across, that's Christian Fields, and finally some positive momentum for the Bears.
Big hit there by Maumelle.
Big hit. Guys exchanging cookie recipes after the play a little bit there.
Well, you like to see, big hit, and then both guys fired up, ready to keep playing. Everybody kept their cool there. There was nothing, out of football there. Love to see it.
There is that fine line. You like to see guys talk a little bit back and forth. Nothing too serious, though. Just letting them know how good they're doing.
Yeah, and I thought, I may be wrong, but I thought he got a little more yards, a little farther down the field than that, but they're going to say he's a yard short.
So 3rd and 1 now for the Bears. And
I know they're going to.
Not sure what we have there. Appears to be a personal foul, the 15-yard variety for Maumelle, so maybe a little too intense on the cookie recipe exchange there for the Hornets.
Somebody added a little more spice than they should have.
It is pumpkin season, y'all. Empty backfield for the Bears. Tyler Hampton drops back, flushed out of the pocket, forced to throw early. And that pass intended for Tyler Blakely, broken up there by Antonio McFadden. Great defensive play there.
Yeah, I thought he was throwing to Sherwin, though. He had Sherwin open. I thought that's who he was throwing it to, and I was going to say that's a really great play by Hampton. But if he could have threaded the needle there, it was going to be a really good pass to the other receiver. O-line's just got to give him a little bit more time.
Yeah, and I was just about to say Hampton early on, and it looks like they forced the offsides there. So the O-line showing a little discipline there. But back to my point, it does seem like Hampton not really getting a lot of time to think back there. He's having to run for his life, if you will, and really scramble, make plays, which kind of breaks up the flow of an offensive play.
Yeah, I mean, and it's almost immediate, and which we knew coming into the game, Maumelle's going to have a really solid defensive line. They have the last couple of seasons. They show it right there.
Malachi Sherwin up the middle. Nothing doing there. 3-yard loss on the play. Now, you don't want to necessarily be a guy who knee-jerk reacts to a couple of situations here, but it appears early on those runs up the middle may not be the way to go.
Yeah, and they got Harris right there, number 44, or Kennedy rather, number 44 at D tackle. He's pretty big and good. Beats on the D line, and a bad snap here.
And a bad snap by Hampton, and he has to fall on it. So the Bears catch a couple of breaks, but kind of shoot themselves in the foot there the last 2 plays.
Yeah, not what you want to see. You got to get a lot of offensive breaks, moving the ball down the field, quarterback making plays, and then you just bad run play, then a bad snap. Can't have it.
We'll see if this punt fares a little better than the previous one. As I can't tell who exactly. High snap once again. And the punt does get away there by Tyler Scott. Good hang time. No return on the play. And it looks like they will mark it at the 33-yard line. So Maumelle catching a couple of breaks. We'll see if they can take advantage. Bears defense did stand tall their last drive. Whoa. As you all probably saw what we just did. A pretty significant bolt of lightning there. We'll see if that will continue. I'm sure if we get a couple of more, we might have to go into a bit of a weather delay, but the weather does not look ominous as things are off to the, I believe that is the south from us. But something to monitor going forward, something else to monitor going forward is this offensive line for Maumelle as they hand the ball off. Look to be off of the guard. Looks about a 5-yard gain on that one. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, back to the weather. There is a little bit of rain to our right, so I guess it just depends on which way it's all moving.
Looks like we're kind of in the donut hole right now.
Right.
And I'd be fine if we just stayed that way. Man in motion for Maumelle. The jet sweep. And again, Bears struggling with the tackling, but they finally do wrestle down Zaylen Pruitt.
I mean, right now, Maumelle playing really physical and with a lot of confidence.
And why wouldn't you be? You seem to kind of have your way so far. That was Chris Davis leading the charge on the last play. Enough for a first down for Maumelle at their 43. Empty backfield for the Hornets. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. The quick swing pass there. And that is Malachi Summons with the touchdown-saving tackle on Jackson Hampton.
Yeah, Malachi playing all over the field right now, sideline to sideline. You like to see that out of a linebacker, but you really hope your D-line can get back there and create a little more pressure.
Yeah, the more impressive thing, he was coming across the field on that play. Another first down for the Hornets as they are chewing him up and spitting him out right now. Play action pass. He's got a man deep. He's under a little bit of duress. Unfortunately, both Bears trip over each other. Riley Jablanowski leading the charge.
That's a fumble.
Down. They are calling
No, that's a fumble.
Oh, they called him down.
That's a fumble.
Oh, now. Woo, not sure about that one myself, but we can't necessarily hear the whistle where we're stationed at. But it did look like that play was still ongoing. So Jablanowski not charged or not given credit for the fumble created. Massive loss on the play, though, for Maumelle.
That was a great job by Jablanowski to get back there. He came shooting out of nowhere.
Great defensive play over there. I believe that was Carson Fuller. Timed it up perfectly on the quick slant. And, you know, we were talking about being man-to-man. He doesn't make that play. Adios, Bart.
Yeah, that's one of the big things about spreading them out wide, man-to-man defense. and running the slant route. It's so hard to defend because the guy, he already knows what route he's running, and he flips those hips and starts shooting inside real quick. It's hard to get over there. Great defensive play.
3rd and long. They're giving it 25 on the scoreboard here. We'll see if the Bears maybe dial up the pressure a little bit, maybe play a little conservative. Man goes out.
Screenplay,
and the fortunate bounce for the Hornets. That bounces to Jaden Gabriel, who was initially a blocker, then turned into a receiver. We have some more cookie recipes being exchanged down below. That's Zayden Woodard. Looks like he got caught up with Nathan Thomas Jr. for the Hornets. No yellow on the play, though, as cooler heads do prevail.
Well, they did say this is a little bit of a rivalry game. A lot of these guys probably know each other, and in the days of social media have probably talked to one another.
It seemed to got a little spicy on the social media accounts for both of these teams this past week, so that always tends to up the ante just a little bit. Maumelle looks like they could be going for it here, as it is 4th and 13.
Yeah, good thing about the big loss on that first play, Jablanowski, is they got lucky there, a lucky bounce, or just how you drew it up on that screenplay there, and it's still 4th and got a couple yards, still 4th and 13.
4th and 13. Bears defense needs to stand tall here, as Maumelle has been getting them in chunks. Bjork gets the snap. He's going deep for it. Threads the needle, and it falls harmlessly out of bounds. Looked like he put just a little too much mustard on that one. Ball goes over on downs, and the Bears will take over at their own 47. It looked like there was maybe a little confusion with the receivers there. 4 guys along the sidelines. Not normally a pass call you wanna make.
Yeah, and it looks like the game's about to be in a weather delay. I saw Coach Horton, Maumelle athletic director, come out there with his phone, probably showing the weather. We do got a couple of clouds moving in, a little storm right here. So
it does appear that is the case. So we are now officially in a weather delay. 2:21 still left in the first quarter. I believe the way this will work is a 20-minute at best delay, and for every hit of lightning, basically that clock starts over. So always fun here when the Bears come to Maumelle.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the radar, and there's not a whole lot, but just enough to cause a weather delay. And I was saying, before we came on the broadcast, even back in my days when I played at Sylvan Hills, we never had an opening game of the season without rain. Not all 4 years I played there, and then the last couple of years broadcasting, a couple of years before that, it always rained on the first game.
I don't ever recall any severe weathers back in the early 2000s, back when I was playing. So back in my day.
Yeah, right.
Kind of vibe here. But just looking up, the clouds do look like they're coming through. I do believe this, put my meteorological hat on here. It does look like we have a front coming through right at this moment. But we do have some interesting clouds rolling through here. And funny thing is we didn't stop the game after that one strike of lightning.
Yep.
And I didn't see anything else. Now, it could have been behind us or off to the sides of us where, we really can't see much. So that could have been the case. But as of right now, we are in a weather delay. But when we do come back, the Bears will take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. Currently, the Maumelle Hornets do lead the Bears in the home opener for the Hornets, 6-0, 2:21 left in the first quarter. And with that, we are going to take a bit of a pause on things. Again, about a 20-minute delay here, so make sure you stick with us as we will monitor the skies here at Maumelle. Again, 2:21 left in the first, 6-0 Maumelle. We are currently in a weather delay. Stay with us.
We on the hills, man. It's dose. It's dose. Hey, let's go. I got that pride in me. I got that dog in me. I got my dogs with me. You know where you can find me. I got that pride in me. I got that dog in me. I got my dogs with me. You know where you can find me. Hillside. 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 Check me out. Let's go. Look, leaving no doubt, going all in. Business and ladies keep calling. Look at my schedule, it's filled in. For the right price, we can make sense. Never been a fan of the hate. Protect myself thanks to the maker. On the grind, call it running routes. Moving real smooth while we counting paper.
Hillside, 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 hillside. Hillside, 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 hillside. What you know about them bears? All the ops we running through. Silver Hills, what it do? Winning, what we gonna do? I'm a ball hog, got swift attack. I've been a winner, I stick to that. Team player, been a Mac, recognize past, then get the sack. Bears grinding at the line of scrimmage. Do our thing, see the end zone. Fourth quarter, it's time to finish. We coming hard, bring the win home. Big hit energy, chewing up all the ops like raw bait. All for one, we fight together. Let's win conference, get all state. Game day and I feel fine. To the fight, we will ride. Silver Hills, Bill Black will feel better. Know the deal on that hillside, man. Hillside, 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 hillside. Hillside, 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 hillside. What you know about them bears? All the ops we running through. Silver Hills, what it do? Winning, what we gonna do? Handle business Friday night, that's what it's time to do. Until we gone, we gon' represent that white and blue. Handle business Friday night, that's what it's time to do. Till we gone, we gon' represent that white and blue.
This moment plays
And we welcome you back into our broadcast. Jay Burr, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network. Currently coming out of a weather delay here. Teams get a couple of minutes here to just get the juices flowing again, as if you need a lot of reasons to get the juices going in a rival game. Just to get you caught up to speed here, Maumelle up 6-0 on the Bears, 2:21 left in the first quarter. So we couldn't even make it a full 8 minutes into it before we were put on a weather delay. Teams are now back out on the field. Everything seems to be going according to plan now. Bears will take over at their own 47-yard line. A little windy on the field as we see the ball just rolling across the field now. So the flags are now whipping. So we'll see how much of an effect maybe the wind has here. We were kind of watching this front come through during the delay. And, the weather always a little bit of a factor. And if the wind does maintain what it is, we'll see if that passing game for Maumelle maybe evolves a little bit. Right now, their offense hasn't seemed to have a whole lot of trouble. A couple of times they've been stopped. It seems to be more of the self-inflicted reasons than it was the Bears defense, although credit the Bears defense making some timely plays when they've had to. The big fourth down stop, the early 3 and out. Offensively, though, they need to match the same intensity.
Yeah, right now the Bears are in a good spot as far as the direction that they're moving. Wind blowing very hard from right to left. So, if we could take advantage of that, air the ball out a little more, O-line block a little better, you almost get kind of a reset here to the game. Okay, we played the majority of the first quarter. Let's go out here, and the refs looks like they're going to say something here in the huddle.
Probably just explaining the situation. But I guess from a player standpoint, and it kind of going the semi-pro route, how hard is it to get the juices kind of reset after a long delay like that? Now, granted, luckily, it's still the first quarter. You weren't that deep into a game yet, but still, you kind of go through your motions, go through your warm-ups. You're in the game, you're fired up, and then pew.
Yeah, I mean, you described it pretty much perfectly there. It's kind of you're all amped up, ready to play, and then it's like, oh, man, we got to stop. But if you go in there and your coaches, talk to you, they get you hyped up, you almost get like a pre-halftime there to go in, make some minor adjustments, and we'll see, if it paid off here.
This could work out for the Bears in their favor. Tyler Hampton on the keeper goes out to the right side. Looks like he picks up 3, maybe 4 on that play. So some positive yards out the gate here as the Bears take over in, still the first quarter.
Yeah, they went with kind of a bunch quarterback, design run there. I thought Hampton could have cut it up maybe for a couple of more yards, but got 3 on the play, 2 or 3 on the play. Go with it.
Hampton mishandles the snap, is able to recover the ball, now back to the original line of scrimmage. And I will say we're seeing a little more, appears to be a power setup for the Bears. Nobody split out wide. Everybody just in the box there. But on 3rd and 10, I'll be surprised if they still go big, and it does appear that they are still kind of going jumbo. 2 H-backs to the right, loaded up lines. Hampton gets the snap, and we've got a reverse. That is number 27, I believe, on that one. Yeah. So a gain of about 6 on that one, and that was Gavin Rollins on the carry, taking it into Maumelle territory. So 4th and about 5. Bears, no hesitation at all. They are going for it on 4th down. And really at this point, not that the game is lost, but why the heck not?
Yeah, and you're kind of at that awkward spot on the field where it's too far for a field goal, too short for a punt. May try and draw them off sides.
And we may have done that.
Got a false start.
False start. So may want to reconsider going for it now, as the penalty backs him up and the punt team does appear to be coming out. So the wind at your back, you have to expect, get a little hang time in this one. Might pin Maumelle back in their own red zone.
Yeah, and the punter, I mean, like I said pregame, he was booting him pretty good. So if he can get a good kick here with the wind, pin Maumelle back, got 13 seconds running clock, may get it off for the end of the first quarter.
Surely in 9 seconds they can get a snap off. Snap is away, right on the money that time. Punt is away, and it is a beaut. See if they can get a roll out of it. Lands in the end zone. And that'll do it for the first quarter here. And Maumelle will take over at their own 20-yard line. And the score after 6-0. The Hornets lead. And really just from a pure eye test here, Bears, hard to get a gauge on them, honestly. They've had some moments of brilliance. They've had moments where they're shooting themselves in the foot. The center quarterback exchange seems to be plaguing them right now. And also just holding on to the ball in general seems to be an issue for the Bears.
Yeah, Sylvan Hills right now on offense, I mean, they're trying to find where the weakness is on the defense. They got, Maumelle's D-line, we've said it enough, is big and physical. Just got to find where the weakness is there and make some plays. But, you got to get the snap first. That's the big thing, snap and handoff. You got to get those cleaned up.
Yeah, I can't do much unless you've got the ball in your hands. Maumelle with the ball in their hands now. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And that one out there on the right is on an island. We'll see if Maumelle tries to go with that. The RPO on the play there. That's Jacob Henry out wide, and he has got some room. He is down the sidelines, chased by a pack of Bears. Finally brought down at the Sylvan Hills 45-yard line. So one thing that Coach Houle did emphasize to us earlier this week was limiting the big plays. A big play right there for the Hornets.
Yeah, and it was just a little read play to the outside. We had the quarterback sewn up, had 2 guys on him, but nobody on the running back there, and he's able to show off that speed, get outside, and get some yards.
Handoff again for Maumelle. Stretch that one out pretty good. About a 4-yard gain, maybe 3 yards.
Yeah, Sylvan Hills did a lot better there, stretching the play out. Griffin with the tackle coming in. They stopped it a lot. Same play, just run the other way. Sylvan Hills did a lot better stopping at that time.
And I do know that's something that Sylvan Hills does like to do. They play that spill defense, which basically means you want to stretch them out as absolutely far as you can. Try to lock up those cutback lanes. Man in motion for the Hornets. That's Hayden Sublett. A little reshifting of things. Coaches sending in their signals. Bjork with the quick pass. Oh, and he just can't wrestle it away. Great defense there by Carson Fuller. But a great reception there by Maumelle. We do have a flag on the play. Not sure what they were looking at.
Well, we had a Maumelle player and a Sylvan Hills player locked up, and I think 33's night's done, sadly.
And that is Chris Davis, one of the starting defensive tackles, the senior. And you'd like to see a little more discipline out of your seniors in that situation. But again, rival games tend to rival.
Yeah, it looked like the Maumelle offensive lineman kind of, he got a good block on him, and he didn't like it too much. Got a little carried away. It happens. Emotions run high in these games. And
strange for it to be so early in the game, though. Barely into the second quarter, and the emotions are running high. So officials still conferring on the call or what to do or how to do. Looked to be illegal use of hands against the Bears. And we're still going backwards for some reason. So Maumelle down to the Sylvan Hills 15. And if you're the Sylvan Hills defense, giving away free yards against this Maumelle team, probably not the best way to go about it.
No, it's not what you want to do. But now what you want to do is rally around yourselves and make a good defensive stop here. You gave up that last play. That pass was just a dime. He threw it perfectly.
Yeah. Receiver
caught it. Those plays happen. That's when okay, cool. But you gotta rally around yourselves and make a stop.
So Coach Houle getting a bit of an explanation here. He's probably protesting it somewhat. I don't blame him a whole lot.
I think we're trying to get the clock right. I think they're wanting 11 minutes on the clock.
So Maumelle looking to spread it out here, it appears, once we get back to play. As it seems. Yep, I think you're right. 11 minutes on the clock.
Well, I don't know who the clock operator is, but he ain't paying it. There he goes.
There we go.
He's not paying attention. Everybody in the stadium is telling him 11 minutes.
Come on there, fellas. It's a tough job, though. So 3 to the left, 2 to the right. For Maumelle, well, that's number 23, Marshawn Wiley, now setting up in the backfield. And maybe not. Nope, he will cut out. He'll be in the slot there. Definitely something you have to watch for is Bjork's feet for the QB draw. Get you spread out wide, get you worried about receivers. And he is running, and we've got a flag on the play, but not before Bjork picks up maybe a yard. Good swarm tackling there by that Bears defense.
And it looks like they're going to get a flag on 76 for Maumelle. He did it. He did it last play, stood over the guy blocked, and they let him get away with it. This time he stood over him, walked over him, and they're going to throw a flag. As an offensive lineman, I will say when you block somebody like that, it is kind of hard not to let them know you pancaked them, but you got to keep your head cool.
Well, there's probably a better way to let them know.
Yeah, I will say Coach Johnny Gibson there, former Razorback coach in the O-line for Maumelle, he's a dog in his own right, so I know he's instilled that in his own line that he's coaching, and it shows. A lot of good players over there. 76, a good ball player. It's no knock on him. You pancake somebody, you want to let them know about it. You just got to find a better way to do it.
Maumelle coaches to our left here. They don't seem to be incredibly pleased. That is a huge penalty, though. Looked like we had some after the play on top of that. So a holding and a misconduct. And head coach Maupin for the Hornets now getting his own explanation. As once we are set to start things once again, it'll be 1st and 35 for the Hornets. So a lot of early season shenanigans, if you will, for both of these teams. Just some emotions getting the best of guys. Not a lot of hustle penalties, as I like to call them. The holding variety, those are going to happen. Clips, those tend to be just hustle penalties. Maybe you didn't get your head on one side, but a lot of after the play stuff in this one so far. So Maumelle splitting them out. 2 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 in the backfield. Sylvan Hills showing blitz. Bjork drops back. He's now on the move, up the middle, and Riley Jablanowski makes the tackle, and we have, once again, another flag on the play.
Yeah, this one could be a holding. There's a couple of guys pancaked for Sylvan Hills. Maybe a holding on one of them. Maumelle's offensive line's playing great right now. And I want to give a props to the referees for, throwing the flags, keeping the game under control, not letting any of this stuff that is a little, out of the range of football play really affect the play of football that we're having here tonight. So good job on these guys.
And it does seem to be that they are calling penalties, that are penalties for starters, and also 2 penalties that affect the play. If you're holding a guy a little bit and the play is going the opposite way, on the opposite side of the field, right. Okay, maybe just tell the guy, hey, watch the hands. Not necessarily throw the flag on it, but right. As we saw the past 2 plays, right there at the point of contact, it's almost like, well, we have to call it. So get the garbage trucks beeping because Maumelle's backing up. First and, do the math. It's a long way.
Yeah, where they got to get to the 15.
Looking like
50.
Bears are dropping back into a cover 4. He keeps the ball. Bjork has got a little bit of room. And he avoids a tackle there. Chews a lot of that back up as Kai Griffin from that strong safety spot finally brings him down. So Sylvan Hills, it's still second and very long, but that is what they consider a big play gain of about 20 yards. And Maumelle looking at, it was first in about 45. Now looking about half of that.
Yeah, that time we had 2 guys on the running back, and Bjork kept it. So a good block.
So great seal there. And then that is Marshawn Wiley just dancing and letting his speed do all the work as he gets out wide, finds a little bit of space, freezes a guy for just long enough, and then brought down by a host of Bears. Now, on the positive side, that is one thing that Coach Houle did talk about is gang tackling.
Yeah.
We've seen him miss a few open field tackles, but by and large, they are swarming to the ball. They need to swarm to the ball right now as it is now 3rd and 10 for Maumelle. Still a chance to get a first down as they are at the 15.
Well, they had it to the 5. I was looking at the wrong one earlier.
Hey, it's the first game for us, too.
Right? Yeah, I will say Sylvan Hills had guys there that last play. They just got a great block.
Hampton went in motion there, and Bjork is under duress, throws one up. Dangerous throw. Great defense there by Rainey. As that pass looked like it was intended for B.J. Beats. Or check that. That is Braylon Crosby for the Hornets. So that'll bring up 4th and 10. Decision time for Coach Maupin and his Hornets.
Yeah, I thought that was a great. Maumelle fans probably wanted a PI there, and maybe it could have been, but I think that was a great no call and a great play there by Rainey.
And I think what really helped Rainey out was kind of going underneath the receiver, not necessarily going through the receiver. Maumelle going for it here, it looks like, as they're going to spread things out. One thing you have to take a hard look at is Bjork using his feet. And just kidding, Maumelle takes their first timeout of the half.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting to see what they draw. Go ahead.
Well, and one thing about Rainey on that last play, he kind of showed why, he's going to go play for La Tech, where he's committed now, Louisiana Tech, is instead of, like you said, trying to run through the receiver and just hit him, whether the ball's there or not, he ran up and played the ball while making the tackle. It's kind of hard to do. And what I mean by that is he wrapped up the receiver as the ball was getting there, wrapped up the receiver and played the ball, swatted it out of his hands. And that can be tough to do as a DB. He does it there and forces a 4th down. It would have been a first down, I'm pretty sure, if not a touchdown, had he, not made that play.
And on top of that, timed it well.
Yes.
And I know for DBs, that's what will get them in trouble a lot of times is maybe you get there just a hair early or early enough to where you have to make the officials make a decision. No decision there. Big decision here, though, for Maumelle. 4th and 10 at at the Sylvan Hills 15. 9:46 left in the half. Maumelle leading 6-0. Jay Burr, Chris Goodman here with you on a somewhat tumultuous evening so far here at Maumelle Stadium.
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out to the Army Black Knights. They just beat Lehigh 42-7. Go Army. Beat Navy.
Oh, look at that. And you're going to get some of that this year from us, so y'all are just going to have to deal with it from us. Maumelle in the shotgun. Man goes out. 3 now to the left. It looks to be a bit of a screen pass. That is... Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was a backwards pass or not.
Well, I mean, if you're going to call it incomplete, blow the whistle. nobody's going to hear you waving incomplete. Blow your whistle, blow the play dead.
And it seemed like Marshawn Wiley got a little bit ahead of himself. Looked like they were going for the double pass there, and I think he just got a little ahead of himself on that one.
Yeah, but great job, Sylvan Hills, getting the stop there. And I like Maumelle going for it there. They're saying, we're either going to get it or we're going to put you in really bad field position where our defense has played pretty great tonight. So
that's what I was about to say. They tend to trust their defense, and it's not like the Bears have really done much to show you that they're a threat on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe this drive will change things. We've got whistles a-blowing. I think the indication was offsides on Maumelle, but we'll wait for the official signals. And it is offsides, so spot the Bears. And Abe Lincoln there.
Well, there you go. You get a free extra 5 yards. Take advantage of it. I mean, it's a 6-point game. You score, you take the lead if you get a good PAT.
Up the middle, and that is clogged up real quick by Landon Kennedy for the Hornets. Oh, we've got some extracurricular as teams are rushing. Coaches are trying to keep guys off the field. Emotions high. That appears to be, I can't tell who it was for Sylvan Hills. I believe that's Tyler Blakely. And I'm not sure who else was involved there for Maumelle. We've now got a late flag. Not sure what the issue is. And that appears to be Zero Antonio McFadden, who appears to be very fired up about the situation. Not sure if he dropped one of the magic words there within earshot of the official.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. He wasn't. His teammates were trying to get him off the field, and he may have been talking a little too much.
Yeah, that'll get you. I know that firsthand. I had my fair share of penalties back in the 2001 season.
Most of my flags came from holding. I never really talked, but I did have a lot of holding calls.
I had a lot of hustle penalties. I'll just be honest with you here. Some of those blocks in the back, you're running down the field. You're trying to let guys feel your presence. I always like to make my presence known. Sometimes it was known a little too much.
Yeah, I was never really kind of the – like, if I blocked somebody and I blocked them good, I never really talked. I just kind of laughed and ran back to the huddle.
Oh, I'll let you know. I would let you know. But that was part of my game. That was my game. I was there to play some head games. So, clock indicator. Throw 9 back up there, I believe, is what the signal was. There we go. And I believe that was an extra 15 for the Bears. So far 20 yards in penalties just on this drive. And again, you're seeing a lot of those penalties after the whistle. And for both teams, that has to be a little concerning. But again, a little bit of a rival game and things, first game of the season. Guys are a little juiced up, even after the, sort of first quarter halftime, if you will. And that is number 20 on the end around. Picking up a few yards, and we've got yet another flag on the play here.
And that's a really late flag. I'm not sure what it could be on.
What that was. It looked to be, it was coming from our side.
Sideline warning.
That was Jeremiah Carey. Just to clarify on that. So I don't think we have an actual penalty, but hey, don't do it again. And a lot of times what those sideline penalties are is basically you get out of the ref's way.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was anybody necessarily bumping their gums down there. It's just more of a matter of, hey, give the official a running lane there.
I remember my senior year, a camera guy, student photographer, tripped up a ref, and we got a flag for that. So definitely stay out of the ref's way.
Hampton looking back the other way. He throws it. He's got, I believe, that is number 2 on the play there. That would be Braylon McPhee, if that is the case.
I will say we got only like 5 or 6 yards off that play, but that was almost executed to perfection.
We're flag free on that play, so let's give credit where credit is due. Everybody keeping within the rules of the game.
Oh.
Not sure what happened there. Looks like it was tipped by Blakely, meant for Fields.
Yeah.
Kind of an I got it, you take it. It's coming to me. It's not supposed to come to me. And he almost played defense on his own pass. So 3rd and 5 now for the Bears.
Yeah, I think Blakely got excited there, and then at the last second was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not mine.
And just to show everybody here, I don't know if we could pan over to it at some point, but it's 3rd and 5, and according to the scoreboard, it's now on the 51-yard line. So, again, it's everybody's first game here tonight. We're all just getting warmed up here. Empty backfield for the Bears, and the snap is airmailed. Hampton corrals it and gets it away, meant for Blakely. Even the center heard, it's the 51-yard line. What's going on there? This isn't Canadian football, fellas.
Oh, that's too good. I laughed on that. I got to take a picture of that.
Yeah,
that's
make
funny.
sure we get a pic. Get that out there on the socials. So 4th and 5 now at the 51. Oh, my gosh.
But back to the play. Hampton, I don't like that he threw it back into the field of play, but I like that he got rid of it, and we lived to see another down.
Well, and avoided the big loss.
Yeah.
Because at that point, as you mentioned earlier, you're kind of in that territory. You don't really want to punt. Hampton scrambling now. He's got room to run, gets rid of it, and in and out of the hands And we've got flags running amok, and once again, that is Antonio McFadden at the center of things. I believe that went in and out of the hands of Colin Billings. So we've got about 3 more flags on the play. We'll see if everybody saw the same thing.
Yeah, I think.
Not sure if this is going to be offsetting. Perhaps it's all on Maumelle.
No, I think this is definitely going on Maumelle. You're going to get a free 15 here again.
So Maumelle keeping the drive alive. Coach Maupin has to be beside himself. Because as a coach, you have to like the energy. You have to like the emotion. But you have to play within the confines of the rules. You can't necessarily taunt. You can't stand over guys. I know a lot of fellas like to do the AI step over, to establish I am the alpha male here. Can't really do that without paying the price, and it appears as though they have paid the price. Now, since it was after the play, the ball will go over on downs, but Maumelle does get 15 docked against them, so they will take over a little further back in their own territory at about the 39-yard line, to be more precise.
Oh, yeah, I guess because it was after the play.
Yeah.
Well, you don't like that. Well, both.
So a bummer there for the Bears.
Yeah, Sylvan Hill still has their offense on the field.
I think they thought it was going to be before the end of the play, not necessarily after the play type stuff. Everybody's got their heads on straight again. And we are set again. Maumelle 1st and 10 at their 34, not their 39. I start going to the school of the Maumelle clock operator here. So Bjork and Wiley in the backfield for the Hornets. Bjork feeding his line some last-second instructions. 14 left on the play clock. Bjork still looking towards the sideline, maybe communicating with his wide receivers. Clap once, and we've got a flag, and it appears to be a false start. So a lot of pomp and circumstance, and it's another penalty. So now that we've gotten into this game a little bit, it seems to be hard to establish a little bit of a rhythm. And this will be for both teams, just with so many stoppages and penalties and just no real rhythm to the game so far.
Yeah, and it's not like you said. It is hard to get a flow going. As a defense, it's kind of nice because the offense doesn't have a chance to get some rhythm.
Bjork on the run there makes a sort of a don't hit me throw to Hayden Sublett there, the tight end on the out route. No gain on the play. And back to your point, Chris.
Well, I was just saying, as a defense, it helps you because the offense doesn't get any rhythm. They can't get moving. But as an offense, it's terrible because you get one good play, then you got to back up or wait a second, then you get another play. It's terrible.
Warrior Benson looking like he is out there on an island, but it is going across the field. Bjork makes a signal to him, so we'll see what they're going to do. If they run that slant, it is wide open over there. Looks like it is going to be a handoff. Ooh! To Wiley. Big time hit there from the Bears. That's Cameron Johnson. Hoo-wee.
Yeah, and he did a good job there. I like that there was no flag thrown, and he did a good job helping him.
I think we all like the fact there was no flag thrown there. So 3rd and 14 now for Maumelle. Big time play here for the Bears defense. Just a little over 6 minutes left in the half. Maumelle leading 6-0.
Bears showing a little fight here. See if we can get another stop.
Bjork settling in. He's got time to throw. It seems to be by design. They flushed him out of the pocket, and that is Johnson again. Going for the strip. Couldn't get it, but they are well short of the first down. And I believe that is now Coach Maupin for Maumelle looking to be upset about something on that play. Not sure what it may have been.
Well, there was a little late push there. You guys just got to be smart. Some of these penalties after the play where the guys are just fired up because they made a play, you can live with. But the ones like that where you're coming in late, it wasn't a flag, but
you don't want to chance it, especially when refs are a little trigger happy in this game as it is. Bears force the punt, so a 3-and-out for Maumelle. a short punt formation here. I believe that is Braylon McPhee, and I can't tell who else is in the backfield, but we have a stoppage of play here. I'm not sure what the issue was. Ball was away. Maybe the official's not quite ready for the snap. Not sure what's going on here, but we'll give it another go here. And I believe that is Cameron Johnson and also Colin Billings.
Yep.
Back to receive the punt for the Bears. We'll see if they get one here. High flying, breakdancing punt. Tough on the handle there for Billings. And you got to just go down.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, he didn't get very many yards, but he collected the ball and then got what he could. Like to see that. And we got a flag.
And another Jiminy Christmas. And that's in kind of an interesting zone. I would have to think maybe defensive holding would potentially be that call there. Not sure what the call could be as the play was back behind the 30. And preliminarily, the Bears will start at their own 27-yard line, but we'll see what the call here is and which way it goes.
Yeah, and they ran like 20 seconds off the clock there.
So, fellas, if you're watching the broadcast, maybe listen for the whistle a little bit. And just know that, the ball doesn't go beyond the 50-yard line. So, Bears get the benefit of the call, whatever the call was. Appears to be holding on the offense, or the punt team at that point. Or maybe. So we've walked back to the 27. Not entirely sure. Okay, now we're marking off the penalty. When we could have just done simple math and not really had to worry about stepping off the penalty. But hey, to each their own. Whatever happens, happens. Ball is where it should be. So now the Bears will take over at their 42-yard line. 1st and 10. 4:20 left here in the first half. Still 6-0 Maumelle lead. Jay Bird, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network. Week 0 of the high school football season. You gotta love it. Refs are back in action here, and whoo-wee, Maumelle blew that play up. That looked like it was led by, couldn't tell who it was on the Maumelle side. BJ Beats on the play there.
Yeah, it looked like the entire defensive line. They just they played they played the play great there, and met the quarterback and the running back right at the point of exchange, and just nobody had anywhere to go.
Sylvan Hills fortunate not to have dropped that ball, to be completely honest. It seemed like they broke the huddle with the Bears on that play. 2-yard loss is the official count there. Bears going a little tempo. Hampton drops back. Appears to be a little bit of a tunnel screen that didn't really tunnel. Christian Fields on the reception there. A reception for negative yardage. So the Bears offense having a tough time finding any rhythm. Just when you think they've maybe got something figured out, they have a couple of things that tend to blow up, and the execution isn't quite there.
Yeah, that play there, Hampton didn't have a ton of time on the screenplay, but I think he could have taken another half second and looked over there a little faster, and the receiver maybe could have tunneled just a little bit more, but that play, you want to hit the receiver in his upfield shoulder. That way he catches it and can keep running.
Yeah, and Fields did have to kind of reach back for the ball. So empty field, Hampton just chunking it up. And I can't tell who that is. That's Blakely out wide. Had no idea the ball was even up. And it appears it looks to be a 3-and-out for the Bears offense.
Yeah, I think Hampton there just being a little gun happy. And
well, he did have a swarm of Hornets in his grill pretty quickly. So Maumelle currently with nobody back. Now they've got somebody back. That is Jackson Hampton. the 6'2", 200-pound junior for them, to receive the punt. Snap is on target. Punt is away. A little bit of hang time. And he thought about it for a moment, but it looks like it will be downed at the 21-yard line. Solid punt there for the Bears. Kicking it away from the skill players of Maumelle, because Maumelle does have plenty of speed out there. Hampton being one of them. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry. It was. We got really lucky there. The wind has died down, or we would have been punting into the wind there.
Woo-wee. Yeah, the flags have settled down here at Maumelle Stadium. So
it's died down, and we're able to get a great punt. Probably the best punt we've had tonight so far.
3 to the right, 1 to the left for Bjork. Handoff is to Wiley, but Bjork pulls it and is wrestled down.
That was a great read there by Bjork to keep it and run it.
And that was Tyler Donald on the play, the 6'1 senior, coming out of that rover linebacker position. 2.5 minutes to go. Clock is rolling here. Maumelle swapping out their personnel. Bears seem to be content with who they have on the field, although they could have swapped it out. Maybe should have thought about it just to hold up the play a little bit. We've got a flag on the play. Preliminary indication is a false start or a procedure penalty on the Hornets.
Yeah, that's an early false start.
Man,
so it
my
may
guy
have been...
caught that real quick. They still had about, 13 seconds left on the play clock? Usually they allow a little bit of looking around and up and down, but I guess he was herky-jerky enough for that official to be like, no, sir.
Yeah, I think he jumped up just a little bit.
Bjork dropping back. He had a man, had the pump fake, and it looks like the Bears will get to him. Cover sack by the Bears. Led, I believe that is number 49. That is Jaden Noble. He appears to be shaken up on the play.
Yeah, it looked like 52 may have been a little excited and accidentally stepped on his back a little.
Yeah, got to watch out for your guys there.
Yeah, a little friendly fire.
Cameron Johnson there. But actually, looking at that play as it developed, great defense there by Josiah Rainey.
Yep.
Bjork had his man in the crosshairs the entire time. He didn't bite on the pump fake, and that's what led to the sack, because Bjork didn't even look at the entire side of the other or the other half of the field.
Yeah, you said exactly what I was about to say. It was one of those coverage sacks there, where Josiah Rainey is able to keep his guy with him, doesn't fall for the the double move, the pump fake, stays with his DB, and Bjork had nowhere to go but to run, and we were able to get over there and make the tackle.
So Noble getting up, looks to be under his own power, so hopefully nothing too serious.
He is holding us back. You hope it is just him getting, he did get stepped on or something. You hope it's nothing more than that. Maybe the wind knocked out of him a little bit.
But yes, he does seem to be walking A-OK. Well, we will do our best to try to get an update for you on him if he does seem to miss some action. Hopefully it's maybe a play or two at the most. And Tyler Donald will get a little more run at that inside position. Or Ducey James, excuse me. What a name, though, Ducey James. Bjork, with the pass, was under a little duress, throws it behind his receiver. That was intended for Braylon Crosby, and it falls incomplete. So 3rd and long now for the Hornets. Bears defense seems to have settled in a little bit. Well, it was a little rough early on, and Maumelle still capable of the big play, but it does seem like Silver Hills is limiting those chances a little better now.
Yeah, and that drive there, they played great sound defense. They didn't didn't fall for any misdirection or anything like that, and made the tackles when they were there.
Warrior Benson out there wide, all by himself, something to always look at. 3 receivers on the short side of the field for Maumelle, and we've got a stoppage. Delay of game call on the Hornets. So just under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Sylvan Hills with their full allotment of timeout still. Something to look for going into the end of the first half here. Maumelle still leading 6-0. 3rd and 22, though, now. And you have to think the Bears will just look to keep the play in front of them and not get anybody behind them. Bjork dropping back. He's got room to run, though. Great open field tackle by Kai Griffin. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th and 10, and you have to think, maybe being at your own 35, that Maumelle will elect to punt. But again, it's not like the offense for the Bears has done enough to really make you think about it a lot.
Yeah, as a head coach, you feel confident running with your offense. And I think they might be punting here.
Yeah, I do believe Bjork is out of the game now.
Okay, yeah, they're going to punt. But
yeah, and that is Warrior Benson back there to punt.
Couple of score updates real quick. Obviously Sylvan Hills, Maumelle, we're down 6-0. Robinson is down 20-7 against Pulaski Academy.
Oh, well, okay. You can't be too surprised at that.
And then Mills is up 18-6 at halftime over Blytheville.
Oh, that's an interesting one.
And I've drawn a blank on who the other team in our network is.
Well, we got 2 of them here, and we got Robinson.
Oh,
so you got them all.
Oh, okay,
yeah, you got them.
I had to turn around to Will. I was like, I know I'm confused. I'm missing a team.
We're missing somebody. Well, we got a 2-for-1 affair going here. Wow, what a punt. So, ball out there at the 27-yard line. So the Bears got their work cut out for them with 57 seconds left here in the first half to try to salvage anything. That was Colin Billings back on to receive the punt. He just lets it go out as he was going to have to travel a little bit of a ways to even attempt at making a catch at that one.
Yeah, that was a good punt. Good flip of the field there. Out at the 20, was it 27?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
So, I mean, you put Sylvan Hills back, and your defense can go to work.
So, a little counter attempt there by the Bears for Jeremiah Carey. Goes backwards, so you might have to think at this point, if you're the Bears, maybe just take it into the half because you don't want to necessarily start using your timeouts to possibly give Maumelle any sort of opportunity. The Bears do seem content with the current situation as they are in no hurry to get the playoff, as they are still receiving the signals from the sidelines. 12 seconds left on the play clock, 25 left until halftime. Bears finally getting lined up. 5 seconds left on this one. And another tough snap. Hampton just rears back. And he's caught it! Now you might want to consider burning your timeouts. That was Tyler Blakely on the catch.
That was
had a lot of pressure on him. Almost thought that could have been pass interference. But he makes the catch, and now you kind of wish you had a little more time in your back pocket. But with the way things stand, 8 seconds left. Sylvan Hills down to, it appears, about the 40-yard line of Maumelle. So you had to think maybe one more play, 2 if you can really make it quick and go to the sidelines. But you got to think on this one, just get the snap back to Hampton and just let him rear back and chuck it.
Yeah, I like the play call there. 8 seconds, so, I mean, you still got time for maybe one play. Get it as close as you can and see how good your field goal kicker is.
They do have 2 timeouts left in their pockets, so it's got to be a quick play, whatever it is. And if you want to go for the end zone, you better make darn sure you can get to the end zone.
Right. Yeah, so you may take, if your next play after this one is just a shot at the end zone, then you can take 7 seconds here if you want to. All you need is a second to snap the football. But you got to use that time wisely and get as close as you can.
So we'll see what happens here. Empty backfield, 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Bears now set. Hampton with the snap. He's under some duress. He's got to get rid of the ball, and he takes the sack, and definitely not something you want to see as he did turn around to see what was going on behind him. And that will do it for the first half. So Bears not really within striking distance of a score. And the first half finally does come to a close. We've had a lot of flags. We've had a weather delay. We've got the first game of the year It is 8:30, and we are just now through the first half here at Maumelle. And with that, we will take a halftime break. With you here, we'll go over some first half stats on the other side. But as things currently stand, Maumelle leading the Sylvan Hills Bears 6-0. Jay Berg, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network.
Graded field is not only important for player safety but also the field's health, and no company in the state matches the exceptional service and dedication like our friends at Athletic Field Service of Arkansas in Sherwood. From servicing all types of natural grass athletic fields that includes aerating, top dressing, and phrase mowing to a variety of residential projects, Jeremy Rice and his crew have you covered. They also offer an extensive list of infield renovation services. Call Jeremy at 501-416-1218. That's 501-416-1218 for your free evaluation, and check them out on Facebook or see what they have to offer online by visiting afsofar.com. Athletic Field Service of Arkansas. We got the dirt on your infield.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field for your halftime entertainment, the Maumelle Varsity Cheerleaders. Robinson, Junior, Natalia
Sounds of the bands here at halftime. Sylvan Hills already going. Maumelle getting their run on their home field. Jay Berg, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network, a part of the Natural States Sports Network. Halftime score 6-0. Maumelle leading Sylvan Hills in this one. It's been a raucous affair, if you will. Halftime stats for you here. We'll just look at the team totals here. First downs, Maumelle leading in that department 7-3. The rushing yards tell the story here. Sylvan Hills 13 attempts, -5 yards. Maumelle 15 attempts, 110 yards. Passes, only 5 completions for the Bears for 53 yards. Same amount for the Hornets, but they have 75 yards worth of completions on their side. Bears 5 of 10, Maumelle 5 for 12. Only the Bears with a turnover so far. Penalties, though, a huge disparity there. Sylvan Hills 3 penalties for 42 yards. Maumelle 13 penalties to the tune of 115 yards. Nobody has converted a third down just yet, or a fourth down for that matter. Time of possession just about even. A little over 12 minutes for the Bears, just under 14 minutes for the Hornets. So, you know, Chris, when you hear those stats, -5 rushing yards, and this is a team that is probably built more to run the ball. You know, you've got Malachi Sherwin, Jeremiah Carey, even further down, Cabrian Buchanan. You've got guys like Tyler Hampton who can use his legs as well. You just have to, sort of throw your hands up at this point.
Well, and it comes down to the offensive line. You got to get a push, but that's a little hard. It doesn't matter how good of an O-line coach you have or how good your O-line is. When you play a dominant defensive line like what Maumelle has, I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams that struggle this year running the football or doing anything against that D-line. You just got to find ways to – I like that they've gone to kind of the screen game. If they can get some of those going, they've got wide open lanes. You still want to try and run the ball. You don't want to become one-dimensional. You still want to try and run the ball. You just got to figure out ways to get the ball ran. I think there's a couple of plays there where they've had a guy in motion and tried to run a little inside zone play. I think the second half we could see him come out and give the ball to the jet guy, the receiver coming in motion, give it to him, fake the inside zone. We start doing like what we talked pregame, start getting the defense to think. Right now all they're thinking is run, just stop the run play. Passes, we got to give him a little bit more time on the O-line to pat, and we don't have to give him much time. He's had maybe 2 or 3 seconds so far, which in college and the NFL, 2 or 3 seconds is a lot of time. For high school, it's not a lot of time. 2 or 3 seconds, you got to let your receivers get downfield, let the play develop. So maybe if we can get to giving them 4, maybe 5 seconds is a lot to ask now, but we can give them 4 or 5 seconds to throw the ball. 3.5, 4 really, I think we'll be all right.
Now, we've seen a couple attempts at a jet sweep or a reverse there by Tyler Blakely, one by Christian Fields. I believe Colin Billings also in on that, as well as both teams are now hitting the field. Well, at least the Bears are. So we'll see if the second half can bring a little more fortune for the Bears. You might remember last year they were shut out in this game 20-0 in that one, and the rushing attempts also just as feeble then as they are now, although in that game they did end up amassing 119 total rushing yards in that game. The net gain, though, for that game was 62, so you do the math, carry the 1, borrow from the tens column, and 57 yards were lost in that game as well. Maumelle now coming out of their tunnel. So the teams will get another couple minutes here to warm up, and we'll get the second half going. Maumelle set to receive the ball in the second half. So if the defense can kind of keep doing what they were doing there towards the end of the half. Again, we kind of noticed this as the play went on in the first half. A lot of big plays, a lot of big play availability even for Maumelle. But as the half wore on, we saw less and less of that from the Bears' defense.
Yeah, and I will say somebody's going to – in the second half, there's going to be a big play broken. Broke to go for a score or break to go for a score. We just gotta hope it's for Sylvan Hills. Both teams are right there, kind of on the edge of a couple of plays breaking open wide. A block here or there, missed tackle here or there. Maumelle has obviously already scored, but Sylvan Hills right there at the end had the big pass play. Maumelle's had a couple of big runs. It's just gonna come down to who breaks the defense first. And like I said, Sylvan Hills, you get a touchdown here, make the PAT, you're in the lead. It's a 6-point game. You can't get into the mindset of, where it is a little hard for the offense to work, but you can't get in the mindset of where you're being dominated, you're being blown out. It's still a one-score game. You got to keep that in mind and just keep fighting, keep battling like it's the beginning of the game still.
Absolutely. We've got the Whitecaps standing in between the teams here as they, again, are just exchanging pleasantries around the midfield mark. A lot of stripes in between.
Yeah, but you got to be careful with something. After the way the first half went, you got to be careful with something like that because then you make the refs, it's their job to control the game. They want to keep control, keep everybody level-headed. Stuff like that, the way the first half went and stuff like that can make them even more trigger-happy when it comes to flags. So,
well, I'd imagine they're a little more trigger-happy when it does come to Maumelle, obviously leading in the actual penalties called 13-3. Not to say Sylvan Hills hasn't maybe gotten away with one or two here and there, but a lot of what we've seen with Maumelle's penalties have been after the play, and you have to think that Coach Maupin for Maumelle just digging into his guys at halftime to clean that up for sure, as they just have not done themselves any favors. With a rivalry game, it's one of these games, no matter how good either team is on either side of the ball, weird stuff always tends to happen. Again, we've had a weather delay. We've had crazy stuff. We've had bad snaps. We've had weird punts. Not a lot of, crazy actual gameplay, but a lot of after-the-play stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you get control of a lot of that in this game. Probably looks a little different for both teams. We may have a score on the board. Maumelle may have another 2 or 3 scores on the board. We could be leading by a lot. You never know when – you get to clean some of that stuff up.
But you have to think at this point, for Sylvan Hills, they have to be thinking this is a win right now.
Yeah.
For a team as good as Maumelle, not that we're doing Vegas odds or anything like that, but you had to think on paper, a team that is just flat out better than the Bears. And for it to only be 6-0, considering that they have -5 rushing yards, that just can't happen. But with it only being a one-score game, you got to be feeling good if you're Sylvan Hills right now.
Yeah, you're not playing terribly. You just got to clean up a couple things. O-line block just a little bit better. And I'm not harping on any player individual. Just as a former offensive lineman, that's what I watch the most. You block a little better. You never know what happens. Hampton makes a couple of different decisions. I mean, it's just they haven't played terribly. Just got to execute just a little better. It's still a one possession game.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, though, Sylvan Hills got to love where they're sitting at, got Maumelle right where they want them.
Absolutely. As we get set to kick off the second half, the sky-high kick to Maumelle. Nobody seems to want to get
it. There we go.
And he is going to return it some. Oh, the fortunate bounce for the Bears.
Wonderful job there. Trejo on the kick. Man,
what an absolute bounce for the Bears. I couldn't tell who recovered it, but he almost broke it the other way. So, as we were saying, weird stuff happens in these rival games, and that was weird. It kind of seemed like nobody wanted to take charge over there on the right side for the Maumelle Special Teams unit. Bears are right there, Johnny on the spot with it.
And I don't think we're going to get any of the yards from the return. I don't think you can advance that football. But Maumelle, I mean, like you said, Maumelle looking like deer in the headlights there. Trejo who I think joined the team as a kicker this week or last week.
He hasn't been around long, but we'll see if this can do something for the Bears.
Yeah, excellent sky kick there, and we're able to go down and recover it.
Hampton on the keeper. He's going to get a little bit on the edge, cuts it back up the middle. Several Hornets on the play. Yeah, a little close to being a late hit, but they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. No flag on the play. Maybe a bit of a talking to of you're pushing the limits just a little bit there. Looks to be about 4 yards from where the official is. We'll call it 4. Brings up 2nd and 6. Bears are in business, almost in the red zone, just outside at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 yards there, but that play there looked a lot better executed than earlier.
Hampton drops back. He's got time. He no longer has time, but he is flags are flying, and he just lets it fly. So smart. What a snag by our guy on the sideline. One-handed. Sign my dude up.
I think has
he got any eligibility left?
I think that was Nick Winger, and if he
eligibility.
If he, obviously he can catch as good as he takes pictures, because that was great over there on the sideline.
Mercy me.
That was a good catch out of Nick.
Great catch. It's probably the highlight of the game so far, really.
There was a flag on that play, though. I think may have been holding.
Yeah, it appears to be holding or something of the 10-yard variety. Illegal man downfield, but that was declined, and then there was a holding. So double whammy for the Bears.
Yeah, we were trying to set up a screen play there, so naturally the offensive line ran down the field. As long as you throw that ball behind the line of scrimmage, your O-line can go wherever they want to, but
yeah, once you go downfield, or it's usually about a 3-yard cushion that the officials will give you. Sometimes they let you maybe get a step or more, but nonetheless, a bit of a killer there for the Bears. Empty backfield now, 2 to the left, 3 to the right for Hampton. He receives the snap, steps up. It's a little high. It is picked off. Picked off, in and out of the hands. I believe that was Blakely out there on the edge.
Fields, I think.
Fields. And just like that, Maumelle will take over.
Yeah, and that's one of those where, it hits him right in the hands, kind of a little high. Hit him right in the hands and popped up. That's the one thing
Those
as a
are
quarterback
dangerous.
you do not want to happen. It pops straight up, right to the DB, makes the catch, interception, turnover.
So the big play nullified by the turnover there for the Bears. Wiley stretching out. Bjork looked to throw. He runs it. Ankle tackle there. Trying to get a number on who that was. Whomever it is a little shaken up on the play. Looked to be an ankle. Can't tell who that is. I do want to say that might be Noah Wiley, but we'll get confirmation on that. Maybe Cameron Johnson. I know he was a little beat up at the end of the first half. Well, that's not Cameron Johnson, because there he is wandering about. Well, it appears to be just a cramp as they're stretching him out. And that's actually Zayden Woodard for the Bears. A little bit of a limp. Doesn't appear to be too serious as he's jogging off the field. Again, just a little bit of a stretch. Looked to be just a cramp. When we get set for play, Maumelle will have it 2nd and 4. Maumelle hitting with a little tempo, handing off to Wiley. And he cuts back in, and he has got room to run. And he is breaking off a big-time play. Great tackle from behind. That was Pierre Grimes coming from that bandit position, but the big play has reared its head.
Yeah, and that was one of those plays I saw. We had a defender, I don't know if it was the defensive end or the linebacker, go inside rather than keeping outside contained. And right when I saw that happen, I knew that play was going for a big gain.
Yeah, great cut back there by Wiley to see the hole just open up. And Maumelle now deep in the red zone, and they're in business. So this game turned on a dime here. Sylvan Hills looked to be possibly taking the lead, but now they're fighting for their lives here to try to fend off the Hornets. That was Jacob Henry on the run. Grimes once again on the stop. No gain on the play, or minimal gain, I should say.
And did a good job there getting a one-on-one tackle, because if he broke that, he could have scored.
It would have been an easy 6. So 2-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 8 still, so Maumelle does have a chance to get a first down. They have to get to about the 3-yard line. And Bjork goes against the grain here. He's got room to run, and he is in for the score. And excuse me, that's Levi Warrior, not Bjork. So a QB switch for Maumelle, maybe getting a guy who's a little more mobile. Not sure if Bjork is dealing with something, but there's Bjork on the field, so he's not dealing with anything other than a now 12-point Maumelle lead. Maumelle looking to be going for 2 to make up for the missed extra point in the first quarter.
Yeah, just a little QB substitution by design, QB run by design. They get the score. Good speed to get out to that corner.
And that was a good play call there. Got everybody going one way. QB cuts back the other. And it's just a matter of beating guys to the edge. Bjorn on the play. It looks like it's going to be stuffed. That was led by Riley Jablanowski, but a meeting of the minds there by the Bears defense. So with 9:59 left in the third quarter, this game has turned on its head. What looked to be a possible Sylvan Hills Bears lead has evaporated and is now a 2-score game that they'll have to come back. And we saw a lot of this last year. When the wheels come off just enough, that's when the wheels would really come off. So you have to think, if you're Coach J.J. Houle over there on the sidelines, you got to be rallying your guys, especially right now, because things could turn ugly real quick if the Bears do allow for it to.
I think the Bears will still come out and show a lot of fight. Just a 2-score game.
And I think that is the key right there, to tell them, hey, it's just a 2-score game. It's not insurmountable. But the way this offense has been operating so far, oh, man. Joseph Thompson and Malachi Sherwin back deep for the Bears. They're shading it just a bit to their left. So not expecting Maumelle to go against the grain with the kick. But we'll see what happens. A little motion in the backfield there for the Hornets. Short kick right to, I believe, can't tell a number. That is Christian Fields on the return. So some decent starting position for the Bears. They get to about the 41-yard line. And the Bears just really have to get out of their own way on offense. It just seems to be that nothing seems to be going right for them. Or if they have 1 or 2 plays that go right, then, as we saw on their last drive, an unfortunate turnover.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you got to have a little luck and got to have the ball bounce your way just a little. They did good with the opening kickoff, and then they had some luck and then had some bad luck. So you got to put that out of your mind, especially Hampton as a quarterback. That wasn't really your fault. Just keep playing.
Empty set. Hampton just a straight-up run. Minimal gain there. We'll call it 3 yards. We'll see what the official spot is.
A little QB draw. You may give just a little bit of time there if it is a draw play. At least the O-line blocked like it was a draw play. You may, if you're Hampton, wait another half second just to kind of really sell it before you take off.
Yeah, maybe just a half-step drop to freeze those linebackers for just a moment. Another empty set for Hampton. He gets the signal now from the sideline. Three to his left, 2 to his right. And he does drop back to pass. He's under some duress, launches it in the air. Dangerous pass. As Antonio McFadden made a play on it. Not sure if he got a finger on it, but he disturbed the receivers enough. Intended for what looked to be Tyler Blakely on the play. Third and 7 now for the Bears. as you have to think that this is one of the bigger plays of the half now for the Bears. I know it's early in the second half, but the way things have gone here very early on, like I said, this thing could come off the rails pretty quickly. Empty backfield for the Bears. And stunting early, and that is caught. Can't tell the number there.
Number 8.
Number 8 on the play. That is Brady Hester. So, Tyler Hampton under some duress pretty quickly on that play. I couldn't tell who busted through the line there with ease. I believe it was Landon Kennedy for the Hornets. Pretty much came through untouched. Hampton drops back again, has some time, and it's in and out of the hands. I believe that's number 16, Nigel Casey. Oh.
Yeah, and that may have been one there where he lost a little focus on the football. The defender kind of cut in front of him, and his body was – momentum had him carrying kind of an awkward way away.
That was 6 for the Bears. You can't convince me otherwise. Bears in the shotgun, one in the backfield. That is Malachi Sherwin. And we've got a flag on the play. The quick hook there to Fields. Looked to be about 5 yards. I believe the indication is offsides. I did see one of the Maumelle players jump back. That is number 6, B.J. Beats.
Yeah, I think
I saw. I thought maybe he had a little time.
Well,
because it didn't look like he jumped forward. It looked like he was lined up offsides initially, which had me thinking, what's going on there? And then he got back what I thought was plenty of time for the snap, but
he just lined up offsides. He didn't really go anywhere. He just kind of just a hair too far.
So 5 freebies for the Bears. 2nd and 5. Tyler Hampton drops back. Kind of one of those weird tweener balls. I think that was maybe intended for Blakely, but I think he thought it was not intended for him, as he didn't even make a play on the ball. And I think he thought that was meant for Fields more than it was for him. So 3rd and 5 now for the Bears. 8:47 left here in the third quarter. Jay Bird, Chris Goodman here with you from Maumelle as they lead 12-0 on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network. Fields in motion. Hampton on the run. They set up the screen going back the other way, and we've got some room to run. Makes the move. There's a flag on the play, which could very well nullify that Jeremiah Carey run.
Yeah, it's going to be a block in the back, and really it was kind of one of those blocks where you didn't have to make it, but I understand you're trying to make a play for your guy running the ball.
Yeah, a little more of that was a soft one if you ask me, but letter of the law. So this will probably give the Bears maybe a yard total after everything's said and done. Illegal use, block in the back. We'll bring up another 3rd down attempt here for the Bears as they kind of a net gain of 2 yards. So I guess any positive play is a positive play at this point, but really could have used the downs on that one. Great execution there. Sherwin really had to make a play on that ball. Looks like he almost lost his footing in the backfield. 3rd and 3 now, for the Bears. Both sides sending in their signals now. 13 left on the play clock, so plenty of time for Hampton. And we've got a flag on the play, and it appears to be a false start. Not sure who jumped there for the Bears.
Yeah, and there's been a couple of false starts thrown really early. The offensive line must be jumping or doing something.
Well, and you got to think it's a little more of that herky-jerky type motion because, again, like a lot of with these spread offenses, guys are allowed to sort of get up, look around, kind of set, reset. Maybe not a hard reset, but nonetheless, backs the Bears up 5. 3rd and 8 now. Bears going empty backfield. And it does appear the Bears will call a timeout. 8:39 left here in the first half. Do just want to let everybody know out there, if you are looking to sponsor the penalty flags, boy, your name would be out there tonight. So we are looking for those sponsors. Just get a hold of our guys here at the Natural State Sports Network, and they will definitely take care of you. So as we get set for play here, 3rd and 8 from the 42-yard line now for the Bears. They are on the Maumelle side of the field, though. So you got to think the way this thing's been going, 4th down, not necessarily if we're going to go for it, but how much do we have to get that first down. Empty backfield for the Bears. Hampton drops back. He's under duress, and he will go down. And the unsponsored flag on the play. So we'll see what this one is.
I thought you were just making another play at the sponsorship. I didn't realize there was another flag on.
No, it's there.
And this one's over there. There may have been a defensive holding on a receiver or
I believe that would be an auto first down. So for the Bears' sake, let's hope that that's the case.
Yeah.
So we will see. They're kind of pointing and dancing and do-si-doing, trying to make sure they've got the spots correct. And we'll see what the officials have to say.
Yeah, it's okay. It looks like they're going to mark it for Sylvan Hills. I don't know what else the penalty could be. And they're just marking it 10 yards from the spot of the ball.
So it is defensive holding. So I thought they were actually in front of the marker. Not sure how they got behind the marker, as it was 3rd and 8.
Yeah, they marked it off from the original line of scrimmage instead of where the ball was.
Sure what is going on here. I thought that would be a first down, considering it was within 10 yards.
Okay, yeah, they corrected them now.
All right. Again, it's the first game for the officials, too, so that will be a first down for the Bears.
Yes, okay. Good job, ref crew.
There we go. All right. As long as they get it right, that's all that matters. Sometimes it takes a little longer.
Well,
Coach Maupin looking for an explanation. The ref's not really giving it to him.
Well, you got to appreciate
it. Is he taking a timeout to express those? Yeah. Coach Maupin did signal timeout. The side judge did give it to him, and he wants to know what the heck was going on that holding.
Well, you got to appreciate a ref crew that will talk to each other, get it right, and all of that. So
again, been a bit of a wild game here. Maumelle leading 12-0 right now. I don't even know. I believe they're up to 16 penalties now to the tune of about 140 yards. We'll try to see if we can get something for you official after the game, but boy, they are just racking up the penalty yardage in this one.
The refs are working by the hour, apparently.
And again, we've had about 21 penalties in this game, so that could have been your business all over the place tonight. You just want to kind of sell that to you again. Jay Berg, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network. We certainly do appreciate you joining us for the ride here as we are in week 0 of the season. Bears shutout in this game last year, looking to put some points on the board this rendition of the Maumelle Sylvan Hills game. Right now they're in business, 1st and 10 at the Maumelle 33-yard line, but we did see the last time that they were down in this bit of territory, they had an unfortunate interception. Coach Maupin giving them the business down there. Officials taking it in stride, apparently. I'm going to assume they will agree to disagree on the execution of the rule book there. So when we come back, 8:29 left here in the third quarter. So this one dragging along a bit so far in the second half. But that's okay. Because when we're dragging along, that just means more football. So both teams have already used the timeout in this. We'll see what. Hannah. Hey, stop me if you guys have heard this one here. We've got a flag on the play.
Well, that time Sylvan Hills tried to speed things up, but
I think they got a little ahead of themselves.
Yeah, not everybody was set, and I knew the flag was coming before the play even went on.
Yeah, buddy.
And that's just kind of it's a little on Hampton and it's a little on the receivers. You want to go fast, but you got to slow down just a little, make sure everybody's set. Usually in high school, I think you got to be set for longer than a second. Usually in high school, they'll
give you a little more leeway.
Yeah, they'll give you a little room, but that time it was
a little too quick.
Yeah.
So you like the tempo, just not too much tempo. So Bears going the wrong way here. 1st and 15. They kind of seem to be just hovering around that 30 to 40-yard line, not making any real headway one way or the other. Empty backfield now for the Bears. Everybody does appear set. Looks to the sideline now. Hampton gets the snap. Quick throw, and he's gone. Well, Hampton's got a shot at it, and he looked to line him up, and he threw an absolute dart right to the defender, who jumped the route. I believe that is number 12, Tari Ransom for Maumelle. And once again, the Bears throw a pick when they are in Maumelle territory. They are now to 3 turnovers on the game, and as we mentioned early on in this game, turnovers the Achilles heel for the Bears even last year. And Maumelle now in business as they basically just flip the field on the Bears. So Bjork in there, he takes the snap, hands it off. No, he keeps it. And I believe that was Jablanowski. Or no, check that. That's Zayden Woodard on the tackle, and he is down. Couldn't tell what happened there. Maybe just sort of landed a little funny. Or he might be cramping up.
Yeah, on that interception, though, that Sylvan Hills has been running a lot of little 5-yard hitch routes, 10-yard hitch routes. That time they try and go to it again, and DB just, good play recognition, knows what's coming, goes and makes a play. You like the effort out of Hampton, though, to get down there and make a tackle and save a touchdown.
Yeah, it didn't look like much of a tackle. More of a guy was looking to line up the QB and kind of swung and missed. Nonetheless, it did stop a touchdown. Ball handed off there. And he's got outside. That is coming back for sure. Jacob Henry on the run there. Our guys here to the left of us, somewhat perturbed at the flags being thrown.
Well, and
I'm somewhat perturbed the flags aren't sponsored, but that's just me over here.
Well, and number 9 there out of Maumelle, I know what he was trying to do. You just got to be a little, that may just go to coaching and tell him what he can't do.
A little too long.
Well, he didn't really hold him. He just kind of ran up behind our guy. Keyword there, behind our guy, and kind of prevented him from moving forward. He didn't really block him, but he got enough of him to throw the penalty.
Impede his progress, if you will.
Right.
So after the penalty, it looks to be 2nd and 3. 2nd and 2 now. So I guess still a net positive for the Hornets if there is a silver lining for them. Unfortunately for the Bears, it's a net positive. Bjork lines up. That's Henry once again, getting the edge, cutting it back, lost his footing a little bit. The only thing that may have saved the touchdown for the Bears. And Pierre Grimes got to be careful, push the limits there a little bit, away from the play. Kind of looked like he tossed a guy.
Well, it was a little bit of
Maumelle not really worried about it. Go ahead.
A little bit of a sell job. But again, you got to be smart. Can't, after the play, push people and whatnot.
Maumelle knocking on the door here, and Bjorn will take it himself, and he punches it in for the score. And we've got some more extracurricular outside the end zone.
Yeah, that was just a great block. Nothing to that other than just a really great block out of that receiver, really physical block. Yeah. I watched the whole thing happen.
Yeah, he really gave him zero chance there. So 18-0 lead now for Maumelle. And, if you're the Bears, you got to be worried about this getting out of hand now. And not only just on the scoreboard, but also emotionally, as we still have 7 minutes left in the third and a full fourth quarter yet to go. And also, too, if you're the Bears, you don't want this one to get out of hand. Bjorn dropping back, Great defense there. I believe that was number 5, Kai Griffin, on the stop. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So with 6:59 left in the third quarter, Maumelle now leading the Bears 18-0. And right now, if you're the Bears, what do you say? What do you even do at this point? Like I said, you didn't want the wheels to come falling off, but those turnovers, they'll get you.
Well, right now, if I'm Coach Huell, I'm just telling the guys, stay level-headed, keep playing hard, keep executing. And we just, the game breaks in this game have not gone Sylvan Hill's way. That's been obvious. The luck has not been on our side tonight. But you got to keep telling you guys, play hard, keep executing. Because, you never know when a break could come your way. You got to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You got to, stay in the game. Don't start thinking about something else. Stay locked in. Keep fighting.
And I know you've got to start fighting some of the psychology of, oh, here we go again, just like last year. I know that's something that is going to be hard to fight against, at least until you get that win. Sylvan Hills with the uphill climb right now. Solid return there by the Bears. Joseph Thompson on the return, so gets it close to midfield. I believe they're going to mark it about the 45, maybe the 46. And if you're the Bears, you just want something positive to happen on this one. You want to put some points on the board. It's been 6 quarters now, and you haven't scored against Maumelle between this year and last year. And I think at this point you just have to look for anything positive. Hampton drops back, steps up in the pocket now. He's rolling to his right. He throws on the run. Great catch. Unfortunately for Christian Fields, he was about 3 yards out of bounds. So the playmaking ability by Hampton is there. And, Chris, do you think maybe she should maybe put it a little more on his shoulders, especially when he starts scrambling? Maybe just try to get some positive yards instead of throwing on the run.
Well, you want to keep your eyes downfield. And there he had 3 guys in the area. The ball just kind of sailed on him out of bounds. But, he can run it just a little more maybe than he has. Good throw there.
Great throw there. Fields coming down with the ball inbounds that time.
Yeah.
Looks to be about an 8-yard gain. So it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Bears. And again, this is just one of those plays where you want to extend the drive. They seem to be relying a little bit more on the pass, and at this point, you'd have to expect them to do so, being down 3 scores.
Yeah, and that, they're trying to roll him out, get him to throw the ball. That may be why he threw it last one. It's, it's a designed roll out, throw the ball.
Empty backfield for the Bears. Go ahead.
I like that he's still trying to make some good plays, throw the ball.
And just nowhere to go for Hampton on that play, as that play was blown up by Anthony Kennedy Jr., led the way. And it looked like that was a designed QB run. Unfortunately, just no real estate to get to. So the Bears back to midfield. And it looks like about a loss of 5, so the Bears will punt this go-around. As Tyler Scott now on the field. I believe that is Jacob Henry back for the Hornets. So we'll see what the Bears try to do with this one. Kick it away from him. Great punt. Spinning kick away from Henry. Henry, though, gets it on the bounce and really has nowhere to go, but he does squeeze out a few yards, gets it to the 20-yard line where Maumelle will set up 1st and 10 with 5:46 left to go here in the third.
Yeah, that almost could have been scary for Sylvan Hills. He made a couple of guys miss and almost had a little bit of a hole to break through there.
Almost made everybody miss there.
Good job rallying to the ball and making a tackle.
So if you're the Bears defense right now, you almost need to just flat out reset. Okay, what's happened has happened. We've got them pinned down. We got to come through for the offense. Got to make a play here if you're the Bears defense.
Oh, that's a false start on the run.
He wants to blow it. I'm not sure why he's not. That was an obvious false start that we could have called there, but whatever reason, now we're not going to call it.
He got bailed out by the QB also moving forward to get a call.
And the snap is high. Bjorn looking for and he is just stuffed by Tyler Donald. So a little bit of ball don't lie there. And it ends up costing Maumelle maybe 3 times what a false start would have cost them.
Yeah, I think they didn't throw it there because the quarterback looked like he was going to get a signal.
Yeah, exactly.
So the running back, they were kind of like, okay, maybe the running back's moving to hear him. So
he looked like he was ready to blow that whistle.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Well, it kind of worked out for the Bears, so no harm, no foul
exactly.
there, I guess. So big loss there for Maumelle. They're in dangerous territory. Wiley on the carry. Bears defense swarming. Not near a safety. Got to be careful there.
Yeah.
Don't want to cost yourself, especially when you've got the Hornets pinned back as deep as you do. They are now down to the 5-yard line, so 3rd and a bus ride now for the Hornets. And if you're the Bears, you got to think we're going to be a little conservative. If you're Maumelle, maybe just ride this drive out. You live to fight because you've got the lead, and it's not like the Bears' offense has necessarily been threatening tonight. So you don't want to call anything too radical. And the ball is fumbled by Bjork. He's throwing the ball. That's not grounding, as there was a man in the area. I know you were signaling there, but that was Jonathan Williams in the area. So great heads-up play, actually, there by Levi Warrior.
Yeah,
not even mad at that, but it was close to a safety there for the Bears, which would have been ecstatic, as they would have gotten a couple of points and the ball coming back. But with that being said, they are going to settle for the punt coming back their way. That is number 4, Colin Billings, back there for the Bears. And yet again, we have another penalty.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a flag there, and I saw the punt go like 2 yards, and we caught it, and I thought it was going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, that one came from way on back. I think they're counting personnel.
May have been a delay of game. I think. Illegal substitution on the Bears.
Legal substitution. So not sure what happened there, how we got to this point, but here we are. So 5 yards for the Hornets, but nothing to make them rethink their current play call.
I think the Bears got to be a little aggressive and go after this one.
Why not at this point?
Almost
got a piece of it. Great punt there. Bounces right to Billings, who's just going to take it to the sideline, and it looks like he went out about the 39-yard line. We'll see where the official spot is, 39 or 40-yard line.
Yeah, there, Billings. I like that return there. Get the ball, just get as many yards as you can. But we always coached our players to, if you get the ball, come home, come to our sideline, see what you can make happen. I do like that return there out of Billings, though. Just getting the ball, getting what he got, maybe 5-6 yards, getting out of bounds.
Momentum had him taking him towards the Maumelle sideline. So, like you said, just put your head down, get as many as you can. Don't take a big hit or anything. Bears in business here at their Maumelle 40-yard line. We'll see if they can actually capitalize now.
Yeah, I think this is the best starting field position that they've had all night. You just got to take advantage of it.
Hampton drops back. He steps up in the pocket. He lets one fly, and he had Christian Fields. Just a little too much air on it.
Yeah, I think that was one of those where he stepped up, and I knew he was about to launch it. Mm-hmm. I could just see it in his body language. He stepped up, but that may have been one of those where he had the eyes wide open and was like, oh, I got a guy wide open. Got to launch it, and just kind of
yeets that one a little too much, as the kids say.
Yeah. Strength coach put a little too much strength in that arm, and he showed it there, launched it downfield.
Yeah, a little too much mustard on that burger there. Bears go empty backfield again. 3 men to the short side, 2 on the wide side. Lots of stunting there for Maumelle. Yep. Easy throw, almost maybe picked off there. And that was number 12, Tari Ransom, who's already got 1 pick for a big gain tonight for the Hornets. But that was Lacoby Brent, the 6'2 junior, on the catch. So looks to be about 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, I like that out of Hampton too. He didn't look frazzled that play and was able to get it off to
Had to panic just a little bit, but I don't think it was panic per se. He was rushed a little. Hampton gets the snap. He's once again under duress. Zigged when he maybe should have zagged. Big sack there by number 55, Caden Sherman for the Hornets. And, good grief. Like, what do you do at this point if you're the Bears? I mean, that left side of the line is just getting eaten alive. And there's just nothing that they've been able to do about it. And you almost can't, bring a guy back to help block in the backfield because you've got to get up some chunk yards. So you're just going empty backfield. But I think at this point, you have to put somebody back there permanently because the left side is just getting chewed up and spit out. Yeah,
and like we've said multiple times, the D-line from Maumelle is pretty good, pretty physical. Surprised we didn't get another flag there.
Yeah, that one looked like nobody was set there, but the officials let it go. And, oh, gosh. And that one's probably coming back as we've got flags on the play. In the meantime, Jacob Henry to the crib for Maumelle, but we'll check the flag. Looks like it was thrown at the 29-yard line. One official here on the sidelines is not moving, statuesque even. And we will see what the penalty potentially is. And it does seem like it's going to go against Maumelle as their offense is trotting out to their side of the field. No signal yet from the officials. Personal foul variety there. So another flag negates a big play by Maumelle, but they have not been short on big plays this evening. So again, a big-time penalty for them. And that takes them all the way back to inside their 20 at the 19-yard line, where they will set up shop. And the last time they were kind of down in this territory, they got a little help. The Bears defense did, but they need to come through in a big way here once again. 2:55 left here in the third quarter. Maumelle leading Sylvan Hills 18-0 currently. And that is Bjorn, and he's got room to run. Makes a couple of Bears miss. He's got a little room. Makes another man miss. And Lord of mercy, finally wrestled him down.
Yeah, if you're Bjork, though, you got to go upfield. You can't keep trying to cut across the field. I know he was trying to make guys miss there. Good run out of him.
He did a heck of a job doing that.
Yeah, I felt like it was coming. They've been running the ball with the running back a little bit, and I kind of felt York maybe keeping it a little more and running himself, and they're calling it now.
Yeah, McPhee on the tackle there. Bjork drops back. He's got a man. He's going for it. And it catches the ball, and oh, gosh. Joseph Thompson tried to make a play on the ball, but unfortunately for him, Derek Palmer palms that one down. And back-to-back big plays, and folks, we can call this one officially out of hand now, and there's still a whole fourth quarter to go for this one.
Yeah, it was just a really good play there. Thompson was in position. Just an excellent, a well-placed ball and then a really good catch there for Maumelle.
Yeah, great concentration there.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. Thompson was in position. I mean, there's not a whole lot.
Yeah, kind of swiped at it, swiped and missed. And you'd have to hope instead of, going for the basketball block of that game, just get your mitts on it some way, somehow.
Yeah, you see that happen a lot at every level. Maybe the DB he goes to play the football, just misses it, and the receiver catches it and makes a great play. But, I mean, the defense has played pretty well tonight. The score's not going to show up. The defense has played pretty well tonight. Offense, you have a couple of small things to clean up and execute just a little better. But, the Bears, to me, have not played just terribly tonight. Just got to clean up a couple things.
Yeah, and you have to think the emotions are, they've come through on every one of these two-point conversions. Riley Jablanowski on the stop there. So with 2:12 left in the third, 24-0 now Maumelle. And You know, it's kind of following a pattern that we saw last year. Solid first halves, offensively, finding some flow here and there. Unfortunately, just can't finish anything. And then the defense, and I don't think it's one of those cases where the defense is gassed, because the time of possession has been fairly even, if not tipping, in favor of the Bears. But the big plays are just there.
Yeah, and I hate that I called it right here at the beginning of the half that somebody was going to make a big play. Unfortunately,
it seems like Maumelle's made several.
Yeah, unfortunately, it seems like all of them have gone Maumelle's way, but the game kind of had that feel where it was a stalemate. Okay, now somebody's about to break something open.
Yeah, one way or the other.
Yeah,
and unfortunately
so far,
for the Bears, it's been all Hornets here in the second half. Well, really the third quarter, as this game at once was 6-0, and what was 8 minutes ago in game time feels like forever ago, though. And here we go, the kickoff. Well, the jumping catch there by, I believe that's Christian Fields. It's a solid gain.
Yeah, he's done good catching those, kind of short kicks and getting what he can, fighting for yards. To see that.
Yeah, this has got to be the frustrating thing for the Bears is their starting field position has been great all night. They just have not been able to finish a drive, or there's just one thing that tends to derail a drive, whether it be a big sack, maybe a bad snap, the couple of turnovers that we've seen here in the third quarter. And I know that's one thing that Coach Houle preached on in the pregame or in the preseason was the consistency, and we're just not seeing that currently from the Bears. QB switch for the Bears right now, as that is Caleb Harrison, who let it fly. More up than out on that pass, as it was intended for Tyler Blakely. So you got to wonder if Tyler Hampton is done for the night, considering the score and the situation.
Well, and for Sylvan Hills, too, on the offensive side, you got to have some stuff go your way, which nothing has. And then, Maumelle's defense is going to make plays, but when you have no breaks going your way and Maumelle's making plays, it's a little tough night.
Harrison looks to the sideline now, gets the signal. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Harrison gets the snap, and he is under duress, and that's a backwards. Not sure if it was a ball just got loose on him or what, but as we just mentioned, it's one of those plays that just completely derails a drive. Huge loss on the play. Looks about, give or take 20 yards. And just nothing going the Bears' way right now.
Yeah, it's just sadly, it's just one of those nights. I've been a coach for a team where it's not been one of your nights, and I've been on the side where it's been your night. So I know both sides of this. You just got to keep your players level-headed and stay in it. Keep you got maybe some backups in now, getting some guys some good reps. You got to go out, continue to fight, continue to play, and continue to execute.
Well, I think the frustrating thing is, the score was only 6-0 at the half. And then you had to think just one play here and there, as that is Nigel Casey on the carry, wrestled down by Austin Timmons. And it appears it's going to be a 3-and-out now for the Bears, and they are just going the wrong way in more ways than one.
And sometimes, like I've said, it just happens. Sometimes nothing goes right. And it's hard to continue to try and fight and play in one of those games where nothing, you're not, the ball's not bouncing your way. You're getting tips that are interceptions. It just, it's hard to keep playing. But I think Coach Huell has done a good job tonight keeping the guys in it.
Well, and two, you just got to be thinking, how do you mentally try to keep your guys in this one, as that one takes a favorable bounce for the Bears. Looks like it'll be down at about the 47 of Maumelle. But back to what I was saying is you've got a couple of things that you're fighting against here. One, okay, here we go again. That last year's, issues are creeping up where things are close and then boom, just bam, 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 bam. All of a sudden the game seems out of reach. And then two, that snowball is just rolling. Having been a part of some of these nights as a player and a coach, how do you just keep that snowball from just really avalanching? Or is there a way to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple things. You just gotta know who you're playing. Maumelle's a good team. You got to know, what you were playing against on offense. You're playing against a pretty physical, pretty big, pretty good Maumelle defense. So you just got to, I hate moral victories. Every coach does, but sometimes you got to take those and be like, hey, we did this good, we did that good. Not focus on anything bad. You just got to focus on what you did do good this game. You want to coach what you did bad, preach what you did good, and build off that going to Valonia next week.
Short game there for the Hornets, and oh man, what an absolute juke there. Jacob Henry, oh my gosh. Wow, hits the L1 button and jets it off. Not sure what happened there.
I mean, I thought we had
Man, what an absolute move by him. In for the score. I believe that was about a 53-yarder.
Yeah, I thought we had a couple of guys there to make a play. I don't know what happened.
Oh man.
And again, that's just one of those plays where Maumelle breaks another big one. It just goes their way.
So 30-0 now here towards the end of the third quarter. And just for anybody that may not know, if it does get to 35, then the clock will just run, only stopping for timeouts and injuries at that point. Delay a game here on Maumelle for the 2-point conversion. So that'll back them up 5. And I do believe they will line it up and try to go for 2 here once again. So here we go. I believe that's Bjork in the backfield. No, excuse me, that's Warrior in the backfield. He drops back. He's under a little pressure here. The jump pass. And he dropped it. So great pressure there by the Bears. That was led by number 52, Cameron Johnson.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a great play there by the QB. Jumping up, throwing it.
That was pretty impressive just to even get the throw off under the pressure he was under. Unfortunately for him, his guy couldn't complete the catch there. So, score remains 30-0 in favor of the Hornets. Bears set to receive the kick here towards the end of the third quarter. Jay Burr, Chris Goodman here with you on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network. Doing our best here with you. We want something to go the Bears' way here. Hopefully, they can find a little something here in the fourth quarter, or heck, even right now. Because, again, the field position has been pretty good for the Bears tonight, and they're finding a little daylight here. Joseph Thompson getting it to the other side of the field. So, Sylvan Hills looking like they will start this one at the Maumelle 45. And again, if there is a silver lining, and we're looking for him here, is the Bears' field position, the starting field position they've had most of the night. I think they've only really started 1, maybe 2 drives deep in their own territory, but by and large, they've been around midfield or even in Maumelle territory most of the night.
Yeah, and that's a play you can build off of. Just, right now you want to finish the game. Whatever that looks like, finish the game in a good way,
Yeah, totally.
Not just whatever it looks like, but you want to finish in a good way, whatever that looks like. Positive plays, maybe getting a touchdown, a field goal. You want to finish the game.
And Harrison mishandles the snap. He picks it back up. And it looks to be a loss of about 4 on the play. So maybe your backup QB getting a little antsy.
Yeah, and I like that they've brought him in to get him some, because we didn't see him last week. I like that they've brought him in to get him some live game reps and get all these, this game, whatever. You want to get him some live game, some meaningful reps. and let him run through the playbook a little bit in case there comes a time when you need him to come in and do that. Hampton goes down or something like that. So, get all this the nervousness and stuff out of the way now. He'll be pretty good.
So 30-0 after 3 here at Maumelle. Sylvan Hills just looking to put something on the board. And between last year and this year, now 7 quarters of scoreless ball against the Hornets. So you just got to hope as a Bears fan that these guys can break through in a big way in some form or fashion. We're hoping for anything at this point.
Yeah, so like I was saying, you just gotta finish the game in a positive way, whatever that looks like. Finish in a positive way, get something to watch film. You got a lot to watch film on, obviously, but get something good to coach up and whatnot. Just finish the game in a strong way.
So Harrison with the snap, hands it off. Couldn't tell who that was initially. Believe that was Brian Buchanan, the 5'7" junior, little fella, which could play to the advantage. Those guys like to hide behind the big lineman, and then all of a sudden, the guy's gone. Because he is a shifty little fella. 3rd and 11 now for the Bears. See if they can garner anything here. Harrison drops back.
Launch it.
Lets it fly. He's got a man. Oh! I couldn't tell if he had it in his hands for a moment or if that was defended. But that was Tyler Blakely. And he was 2-on-1 out there. And it falls incomplete. Great ball, though. And unfortunately for the Bears, it is yet another 3 and out.
Yeah, that was a good ball. There may have been just a hair underthrown to allow the DB to come up and make a play. You want to see your receiver catch that, but that's a tough play to make as a receiver,
especially with 2 guys. Really in your kitchen.
And right as he caught it, the DB hit him. So, great ball there, though. That's something you can build off of.
Monster punt, though. That's something to be. Holy cow!
Stop.
Couldn't catch a break.
Wonderful punt.
Great punt. Just a little too much hot sauce on it, and fortunately they'll get to do it again. So Good practice kick. It was a little close there for the Bears. I know they were running personnel in there towards the end of the play clock.
I think it may have been a false start on us.
I believe it was an illegal procedure on the Bears. So we'll get another run at it here. Heck, put a little more mustard on that thing this time. Plenty of time. And, boy, he did.
That was going to bounce in the end zone.
Now that one takes the friendly bounce, and Maumelle picks it up. A couple of missed tackles, and oh, no. He's got one shot here. Well, there's a flag on the play, and he's gone. But I do believe that one is going to be coming back, as it looks like Tari Ransom does not agree with the assessment there.
Yeah, I think that may have been just somebody trying to get a nice block in there.
Well, there was a reason he sprung it, I guess.
That's 2 punt returns.
That's 2 punt returns that have been nullified. And it does seem like Maumelle has realized the error of their ways. They will send the offense back out there. Looks like Bjork is going to be the QB this round. Still looks like the starting D for much of the Bears.
Well, if you're the defensive coordinator, now you're telling you guys, we've given up a couple of big plays. That happens, but we still got to continue to play our brand of football, go out here, execute.
Yeah, and you would like to see the Bears maybe impose their will just a little bit here at some point. Again, they've done it in spurts. They've had a few 3-and-outs. But with the wheels coming off, how do you respond? And I think that's where the next step for this team will have to be if something doesn't go your way, and especially against the team, and I know you've mentioned it a few times, as good as Maumelle is going to be this year. You know, you just kind of realize, like, all right, it's just one of those nights you tip your hat to the better team. And we've got a stoppage here. Clock still was showing. Not sure what the issue is. Not sure if it's an equipment issue or what, but they are sending off Jonathan Williams for some reason. In his place will be Hayden Sublett. So we'll try again. 1st and 10 at their own 15. Handoff Maumelle, met immediately. And that was Deucey James.
I love that name.
I believe that was Marshawn Wiley. And there is Jonathan Williams checking back in. So 2nd and 11 now for the Hornets. Motion. Little dipsy-do. Everybody reaching in on that one. And Wiley, he's a spry fellow. But not too spry for Riley Jablanowski, who led the way there for the Bears defense. Minimal gain there. Looks to be, we'll call it 4 yards. Well, maybe less. Maybe about 4. Yeah, what the heck.
Jablanowski making a lot of good plays tonight.
That kid's a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
That kid has 0 cares to give out there, and he lets you know about it. He will throw his weight around.
And playing as a linebacker, you know, he may be a little undersized, 5'8", 170. Maybe a little undersized, but he plays like he's like 6'2", 250. That's what you love to see.
You know, one of my favorite linebackers of all time, Zach Thomas, he was an undersized fella. Now, he had a neck probably the size of my thighs.
Right.
So Jablo, maybe not quite that imposing physically, but I do feel like he kind of has a little bit of a similar playing style where he's just out there with his head on a swivel and throwing the body around. Nothing doing on that pass there for Maumelle. As the Bears defense stands strong, holds them to a 3 and out. Good defense there. And Maumelle having a little trouble getting their personnel out there on the field for this punt. And they're either going to have to burn one or, well, it looks like they got it all. Well, nope. And it will be a delay of game.
And again, I will say, with the amount of flags, we are looking for a penalty flag sponsor. Or any sponsor, for that matter, if you want to, sponsor the flag, sponsor the first down, touchdown, whatever you want to sponsor tonight, hit up the guys at Natural State Sports. Steve and Will, they'll take care of you. Help you, help us, help you.
That's right. Because we've had plenty of flags tonight, so this could have been you. Maumelle gets the punt away. It is a high punt. Not very far, though. Takes you got to be. Man, it's just, oh, my gosh. You can't help it. Right? Oh, my gosh.
That right there is just the epitome of tonight. That is the ball.
That is a microcosm of the Bears' evening right there.
The ball not bouncing your way.
Good gravy. I mean, that had to be, like, what? That was what, about a 20-yard roll?
Yeah.
And it just happened to,
right.
I mean, it looked like it curved back in, or it just hit perfectly where it just right down the line instead of bouncing out at what looked to be about the 45, and now they're at the 39. Good grief, man. Man, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, that is just that one little punt right there is the story of tonight.
God.
And that's what I mean by literally sometimes the ball just does not bounce your way.
Good night, Irene. Well, after everything's said and done, Bears take over at their own 39 when it should have been the Maumelle 45, but here we are. We got one guy late getting on. Maybe just relaying the play there. That's Tyler Donald coming in.
2 seconds.
And Lord of mercy, that snap way over Harrison's head. He just falls on the ball. And that one didn't even have a chance. So that's definitely something I think the Bears will have to work on substantially this next week, as we have seen their fair share of snaps going awry. I want to count like maybe 5 or 6 now that the QB maybe didn't even have a chance at.
Yeah, and there was a couple of those in the benefit game.
And it looks like Christian Jackson has now been swapped out. And I'm not sure who that is. I believe that was number 65. And that is Aiden Ricks.
Well, and I will say, as I've said multiple times, I played offensive line. I played left tackle and I played center, probably 2 of the most important positions on the O-line. And as a center, sometimes late in the game, you get a little tired. You may leave your butt up a little bit, and that's why those balls will sail on you when you snap them back there. Or you're thinking too much, trying to move too fast to block the D tackle, and you just, you got to snap the ball first. That's your main job. And you may not care so much about snapping the ball sometimes and let it go, trying to get to the defensive tackle. I've done it plenty of times in my career, so I definitely feel for the center.
Harrison drops back, just lets it rip. That's going to, good. Oh, I thought he may have came up with it. That pass intended for Tyler Blakely, defended by Austin Timmons. Great ball there by Harrison once again. I mean, the kid's got some air on it. That's 2 by Blakely. Just hasn't seemed to come up with it. Both passes have been pretty well defended by Maumelle on the deep balls that he's let loose. So 3 and out for the Bears.
Yeah, and I will say on that play, it's kind of a little controversial, but that was a great play by both teams. Now it went a little more great for one team than it did the other, but
well, yeah,
a great pass
and
great defense.
Get some roll. Well, and then it just dies, of course. Yeah, there's a little bit of a friendly bounce for the Bears. Punt is down at the 37-yard line for Maumelle, where they will take over. 7.5 minutes left in here. Maumelle up 30-0. Just been one of those nights for the Bears. A very similar night that the Bears had last year. Now, the score wasn't quite as slanted as it was, but the big plays for the Bears and turnovers were a problem for them last year. Once again, a problem for them this year against this Maumelle team. Maumelle timeout. So again, Maumelle just kind of had their way. The third quarter, really the turning point in this one, as it was only a 6-0 game coming out of halftime. Then a couple of big plays by Maumelle on both sides of the ball. A couple turnovers by the Bears, and things got a little out of hand quickly. And the Bears' struggles on offense have just been prevalent all night. As we've said, the consistency is one of those things that Coach Houle has talked about this year. Consistency just not there on the offensive side tonight, as it seems to be 2 steps forward, 1 step back for the Bears offense most of the evening. So handoff to Wiley, or check that. That is Jacob Henry, who dances for about 7 yards. Clock is rolling, 7:13 left, fourth quarter. And it appears that the tempers have settled here in this game, as we haven't seen quite as many penalties, especially after the play in this one.
Which is good. That's a good sign of both head coaches getting on the team. Everybody's going to come out, fired up. It's a rivalry game, so good job on both coaches to quiet it down a little bit, and good job on all the players of keeping their heads cool and fighting on both sides. Good job on both sides.
Nathan Thomas on the carry there for the Hornets. That's enough for a first down. So Maumelle driving at the Silver Hills 49 now. And Bjork rearing back Oh, in and out of the hands. Great ball there. Well defended there by Braylon McPhee also.
Yeah,
Looks like he got a little bit of a hand in there.
I'll say both quarterbacks have thrown the ball really well, but they have not had any help out of their receivers on both sides. A couple of great placed balls. Now, some of these balls have been threading the needle. It's hard for receivers to focus and make the catch, but both quarterbacks have, all four that we've seen. I think we've seen four quarterbacks, two on both sides, have thrown the ball pretty well, just haven't been completed.
And that's Warrior actually on. Oh, good defense there.
Yeah.
Looking for this. Oh, come on. You're going to call that one. That looked like some pretty solid defense there by Egan Hall.
That was probably
Not sure what we saw there, but.
So that was probably the least pass interference out of all the ones, but that's the one they call.
That's the one we call.
Now, granted, the ref that threw it was behind the play, so it may have looked worse to him than our vantage point. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But there's been some.
No, you get no benefits of the doubt here.
There's been some other ones that definitely should have.
Well, they're calling holding on that, so not necessarily pass interference. So may have gotten the hands on him a little early, may have kept the hands on him just a hair too long. Nonetheless, it is not on the 51-yard line. Actually down to the 39 now of the Bears. They get a fresh set of downs. Handoff, great kick-out block there.
Yeah.
Wiley just rolling there, pushed out of bounds by Jablanowski. He is met. And we've got punches thrown. And Jablanowski likely going to sit this one out. It was about to be on Maumelle only, and Jablanowski lets his emotions get the best of him. Saw a punch thrown there. That was the reason for the hat coming off. And I'd venture to say his night might be done.
Yeah, that's one of those things where, it was going to be on Maumelle. And I get it as a player, having played. I get your emotions run high in a game like this. I completely get it. I'm not going to harp on the player there, but that's just one of those times when you got to know the situation, got to know what's happening. And
yeah, he got a little handsy with him, so I understand the frustration.
I get it.
You're down 30 points. I understand the frustration, but you can't throw hands. And that's kind of what this comes down to. You had it. Officials saw the penalty where the Maumelle player, I think that was number 57, Devin Lowe, and then you throw hands. Yep. So an ejection there for Jablanowski. And someone check me on that. I'm not sure if he'll have to sit out a half or anything like that. We'll try to see if we can ascertain that answer for you. In the next one, since it was of the unsportsmanlike variety. So offsetting penalties there would have been a big loss for Maumelle, but everything now just canceled out. And I'm not sure if both players were ejected or if it was just Jablanowski. Yeah, I don't see Lowe out there currently.
So Kevin Bohannon said it's out for the full game the next week.
So we're getting word that Jablanowski might be out the entirety of the next game.
And that hurts for your defense.
Huge blow for the Bears if that's the case.
Because I'm pretty sure Jablanowski is the leading tackler tonight for Sylvan Hills.
Well, he's definitely that important will linebacker. And, we were singing his praises not long ago about how he throws the body, makes plays. He's a hard hitter. Just got to do it with your pads there, young man.
Yep.
So Maumelle now inside the red zone at the 19-yard line, 1st and 10. Warrior juking and jiving. We've got a helmet off. I believe that is Xavier Maldonado, whose helmet came flying off. Slight gain on the play, about 3 yards. They'll bring up 2nd and 7 for Maumelle. Clock is not rolling. I don't know if anybody actually notices that yet. But we're stuck on 5:59, at least on the board. There we go. Now we're rolling. One to the right of Warrior. He drops back, still throwing the ball. 17, had a shot at it. That was Josiah Warrior Benson.
Yeah, he may have
And he is down. I'm not sure if it's just out of frustration or, well, no, they're calling for the trainers over there. Not sure if he slid into the fence or there's a little bit of a concrete ground over there just before you hit the fence line.
Yeah, he kind of,
So I'm not sure if he scraped along that or what happened there. I kind of missed the very end of that.
It's kind of that area of the field where it may not be as padded as much as the other field. You slam down kind of harder at an awkward angle. It can hurt. Good to see him get up, though, and walk off on his own power.
Yeah, that's good. It's always a little interesting, and every stadium has their little quirks like that. Pulaski Academy being one of the first ones that come to mind, at least on their one end of their field. Not the field house side, but the other side. You know, if you're on the away side, it's the left end.
Yep.
That wall there, it creeps up real fast, and then even along the sidelines, you know, there's not a lot of real estate out there. But thankfully, he looks to be all right. So I believe this is now 3rd down for the Hornets. I'm not sure if Maumelle took a timeout there just to kind of get their wits end about themselves, or if this is all part of the injury timeout. There was some waters out there, so I do think that they took a timeout.
Yeah, I think it may have been a little bit of an extended timeout just to get everybody some water. And now
Well, send some of that up this way. I'm a little parched myself.
Well, the chain crew is way.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the down marker was doing. The ref signaling to him
he was
ferociously to get back down to this side, buddy.
Way on down.
I'll
at the other
take
end
it
of the
back
field.
down there. No, I'll go to the other side. I'm all right with that. So, not sure if we just had needed a quick repair on it or what was going on. Oh, that's right. I forgot they had the digital one out there. Yeah,
okay.
So good call there. You know, got to go with Duracell.
I thought they were just going to give us 3rd down on the other 18-yard line. I would have taken that.
I'd take it. Hand off to Wiley. He's got a few blockers. Great hit there by Zayden Woodard. And unfortunately, and check that, that's not Wiley. That's Nathan Thomas. He fights through that tackle a little bit. And he looks to just barely have enough. So had the solid hit, but didn't bring him down. And it is enough for a 1st down. So 1st and goal, Maumelle at the 9-yard line.
Was that you?
That was me.
Oh, I had no idea where that sound.
Oh, man, that one snuck up.
Where that sound came from. I was just like, what?
Woo.
I will say Woodard's had a good night, too. He may not have as many tackles as he wants, but he's been flying to the ball as well. You like to see that.
And that's a delay of game.
And speaking of linebackers, I think Malachi Summons must have been injured in the first half because I haven't seen him the entirety of the second half.
We haven't heard much from him. That could be either by design with Maumelle or maybe just getting some other guys some run because we've seen a lot of Tyler Donald out there.
Yeah.
And he's listed as the backup because I don't remember seeing Summons hurt or anything. And that is number 5, Jacob Henry, who scampers in for the touchdown. And Maumelle will extend their lead. So the officials signaling to keep the clock rolling now that we're beyond 35. So the way the rule works is in the second half, if at any point a team goes up by 35 points, at that moment, the clock will run. And like I said, only timeouts and injury timeouts or when it will stop. So just under 5 minutes left to go in this one. Maumelle now leading 36-0. So quite a different story this year from last year. Last year, only 20-0 win. Maumelle, though, shot themselves in the foot a lot in that game. Sylvan Hills, kind of the New Year's same story, though. Come out strong. Wheels just kind of fall off. They easily blocked that kick. And unfortunately can't advance it because that would have been the best scoring chance they've had all night.
Well, and
so if there is a silver lining, there's another one right there,
Yeah.
is the special teams have actually been pretty solid. They got, well, I don't want to say it's an onside kick, but you had the short kick that was recovered by them. They haven't allowed one 2-point conversion yet. You get the blocked extra point attempt there. Punts have been fairly decent most of the night. I think there's only been about one that maybe didn't go as far as they wanted it to. So, hey, the special team's showing up big. Again, starting field position, by and large, has been around the midfield mark. So you take what you can get in a game like this.
Yeah, and you talk about last year and how things kind of went, but it could be, that, Sylvan Hills could be a good team, but Maumelle was a good team last year, and it could be that they just got better, and Sylvan Hills.
They got some big guys. Again, like I said, the left side of the Bear offensive line has had their hands full most of the night.
And Sylvan Hills could be a good team. We just are playing a team that is really good and got better. A lot of good coaches on both sides. So who knows? We may come out next week against Bologna and be a completely different team. Could just be one of those nights where, like you said earlier, when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring.
Well, we can only hope so. A little more boot in that one. Joseph Thompson on the reception, just taking it right up the middle, just kind of parted like the Red Seas. And again, the Bears around the 40-yard line. So, like I said, if there's something to take away from this one, it's been the kickoffs and the starting field position.
And now, for the last 2 minutes of the game, you just want to go out here and again, get something positive to continue to build off of going into Bologna next week. Get some guys some more plays
reps
on film. Yeah, some more reps, and keep building.
Caleb Harrison in the backfield now. Bears seem content to just kind of let the clock run themselves. Low snap, he gets it. And there might be a little something brewing there. Had something going there for just a moment. That was E.J. Duckery. It was a little shifty there. Gets it out to almost midfield. And we do have confirmation on that, so Jablinowski will have to sit out 4 quarters in the next game. So you do the math. That's a full game. So huge blow for the Bears defense next week. Minute left in this one. And that's a first down and then some for the Bears. That's Isaiah Howell, the sophomore.
And that's another play. That's what I mean. Right here at the end of the game, you're not going to win. Just continue to get positive yardage, positive plays out of guys.
Hey, let's bust one loose here. Get off the goose egg here, because now you're facing down the barrel of 8 quarters in this matchup where you have not scored. Now, mathematically, that's pretty tough in and of itself, but because you figure you're going to mess around into a touchdown at some point. Bears messing around a little bit right here as that's Duckery again. Still on his feet, still shucking and jiving.
A hard guy to take down.
And he did his darndest, but unfortunately for the Bears, this one comes to an end.
Oh, we've got a flag.
Or not, maybe not.
I tell you, anybody watching, if you own a business, I'd get on the penalty sponsorship.
Get on the penalty sponsorships, that's for sure.
They're going to
just
wave
picking
it off,
up.
yeah.
To heck with it, because, what are we going to do here? The game has already been decided. And unfortunately for the Bears, they are once again shut out by their intra-district rival, 36-0. So, I know we've been trying to talk about it here, Chris. We've been trying to find some silver linings with things. What do you do to bounce back from this game? Because the good thing about it is, hey, we get to come back and do it again next week.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Coach Huell, and obviously, I'm not the head coach at Sylvan Hills. If I'm him, and he's got a great supportive coaching staff around him, like I said, I've been in games where I've been on both sides of this as a coach and as a player. You just got it's one of those games. To you play those teams that just have your number. Whether it's in the NFL, college, high school, you just play those teams and they got your number. So, you got to look at it as okay, it's the first game of the season. First of all, okay, we
so
got this game.
Down as one loss,
right? We got this game out of the way. Okay, we got Valonia next week. Let's get ready. Let's stay prepared. Let's get a good week of practice in, and let's go. Let's go get ready for Valonia. Like I said, we didn't play terrible tonight from what I saw. We just did not have anything go our way, and sometimes you have nights like that, and that's what it is. Tomorrow, Monday. I don't know when the players will get together and watch film, but when they do, okay, we're only going to spend, a little bit of time on this, and then we're moving on. Last week happened. Last year happened. We're moving on. We're turning the page. We're opening a brand new door to a brand new season. This game didn't go how you wanted it to go. That's fine. Let's move on, get ready for conference play, and ready for Valonia.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where, and I think you mentioned this earlier, the team has to learn how to win. And I guess – from a team that's kind of had the season they had last year, and it starts off the way it did this year, how do you go about doing that? How do you figure out and just get that one off your shoulders? Because I think once this team actually breaks through with one W, then all that pressure's off, and they can play a little looser, a little freer. Maybe the game slows down for them. They have that monkey off their back, if you will.
Yeah, at some point, it's just going to – and there's no telling when it's going to be, but something's just going to click. The plays are just going to execute a little bit better. The coaching is going to come a little bit smoother. Players are going to make some plays that it's like, okay, last week you didn't make that play. Now you are. You get another week of practice. Like I said a minute ago, good thing is this is the first game of the season, so you got a lot to look forward to down the stretch. But you just got to continue the small things. You just got to execute your blocks, hit the hole as a running back. Receivers got to catch the football. There's a couple of plays tonight where it just, like I said, it just did not bounce your way. The interception goes flying in the air, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Throw all that in the trash and focus on what you did control in this game that went right and went wrong. Coach it up and move on from it.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Just throw it in the trash. Watch this game back, and then put the film right square in the recycle bin. So, final again here from Maumelle Stadium. The Bears fall 36-0, but as we alluded to, it only goes down as one loss. So, again, if there's a silver lining, that is definitely it. So, for the entire cast and crew here on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network, I'm Jay Burr along with Chris Goodman. We will definitely do this again next week as the Bears are at home. At home? Yeah, at home in the friendly confines of Bill Blackwood Field in Sherwood, Arkansas. We'll hope to see you then, as well as they will take on the Valonia Eagles. Once again, 36-0 loss here to Maumelle. But we fight again next week, and we hope that you'll be along for the ride with us. So again, for the entire cast and crew here on the Sylvan Hills Sports Network, we bid you good night. We will see you next week.